ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ண போடுறோம். ஏன் சொல்ல போகிறேன் யாருக்கு நான் லென்ஸ்மேன் தான் அதை யூஸ் பண்ணி ஒரு நான் ஒரு
Good morning, everybody. We welcome you all to the inaugural session of the National Conference organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Guru Nanak College and vouched by COE Global and IACCRA. The conference is on the broad theme, Role of Industry, Academia, Collaboration for Connecting Classroom Knowledge and Real-World Applications, which is a prerequisite of any academia to empower its students to traverse beyond classroom learning. We are honored to have you with us as we delve into the latest advancements and critical discussions based on the topic with our potentiary guests, Mr. C. Sendil Kannan, Mr. N. Nandakumar, and CMA TCA Srinivasa Prasadji, to ascertain the efficacy and the purpose of the program. Ladies and gentlemen, we now invite our esteemed guests to join us in the lighting the ceremonial lamp symbolizing the illumination of knowledge and the beginning of enlightenment journey. அந்த ஹெட் வந்து அந்த லைன் இருக்குல்ல ஹெட் இருக்கு அந்த லைனுக்குள்ள வச்சு Thank you, dignitaries. We shall now render the Tamil Thai Varta, followed by the college prayer, led by our Reverend Gyaniji, seeking the blessings and invoking a sense of peace and harmony as we commence our event. We shall all rise for the rendition.
சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ்வரத கண்டமிதில் தெற்கனமும் மதிசிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிற பிறனுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிலமை திரும்பி அந்த செயல் மறந்து வாழ்ந்ததுமே வாழ்ந்ததுமே வாழ்ந்ததுமே.
शुभ कर्मन ते कबू ना करूं देह शिवावर मोहे शुभ कर्मन ते कबू ना करूं न डरूं वर स्यों जब जाए लरूं, निश्चय कर अपनी जीत करो, निश्चय कर अपनी जीत करो, निश्चय कर अपनी जीत करो, देह शिवावर मोहे शुभ कर मन तय कबू ना करूं, देह शिवावर मोहे शुभ कर मन तय कबू ना करूं, अर सिख हो अपने ही मन को, अर सिख हो अपने ही मन को, लालच हो गुण तो उचरो, लालच हो गुण तो उचरो, देह शिवावर मोहे शुभ कर मन तय कबू ना करूं, देह शिवावर मोहे शुभ कर मन तय कबू ना करूं, जब आपकी औध निदान बने, जब आपकी औध निदान बने, अति हिरण में तब जूझ मरो, अति हिरण में तब जूझ मरो, देह शिवावर मोहे शुभ कर मन तय कबू ना करूं, देह शिवावर मोहे शुभ कर मन तय कबू ना करूं, शुभ कर मन तय कबू ना करूं, शुभ कर मन तय कबू ना करूं।
Thank you, Gyanji. We kindly request our esteemed principal, Dr. T.K. Avaikode ma'am, to step to the podium and deliver the official welcome address, setting the tone for our event and extending a warm greeting to all our distinguished guests and participants. Ma'am, please.
Very pleasant morning to one and all present here. Respected Chief Guest, Mr. C. Sendil Kannan, Founder and Managing Director, IACCRA Projects Private Limited, Chennai. Esteemed Guest of Honor, Mr. M. Nandakumar, Managing Director, Nanwin Energy LLP, Chennai. Respected CMA TCS Srinivasa Prasad, Vice President, Institute of Cost Accountants of India. Respected Dr. Thiagu, Resource Person from the Department of Education, Central University of Kerala. Most respected General Secretary and Correspondent Mr. Manjit Singh Nair, and beloved Advisor Madam Dr. Marlin Morais in absentia. Vice Principal SFS Dr. Anita Maliseti, Controller of Examinations Dr. P.V. Kumaraguru, Dean Staff Affairs Dr. Thirumagan, Dean Languages and Editor-in-Chief Dr. L.R.S. Kalanathy, IQAC Coordinator and Convener Dr. D. Saumya, IQAC Assistant Coordinator and Organizing Secretary Dr. Mahendra Kumar, Deans, Deputy Deans, Heads of various programs, dedicated faculty members, students of Guru Nanak College and all participants of IACCRA 2024. Your presence here today is a testament to the importance of the symbiotic relationship between industry and academia. On behalf of Guru Nanak College, I extend a warm welcome to all of you to the National Conference on Role of Industry Academia Collaboration for Connecting Classroom Knowledge to Real-World Applications. Guru Nanak College, true to its motto, Pro Bono Publico, Sadbadda Balla, which translates to for the benefit of all, has always strived to bridge a gap between theoretical knowledge and practical application. This commitment is reflected in our outstanding academic record. We are a leading autonomous institution accredited at an A++ grade by NAD and consistently ranked among the top institutions by NIRF, Education World, India Today and The Week. Our 27 undergraduate, 9 postgraduate and 8 doctoral programs cater to the needs of over 7,500 students, mentored by a dedicated team of 450 staff. The National Conference on IACCRA 2024 is a significant step in our ongoing pursuit of excellence. The theme, Role of Industry Academia Collaboration for Connecting Classroom Knowledge to Real-World Applications, resonates deeply with our philosophy. We believe that a strong synergy between industry and academia is crucial for preparing our students for the dynamic challenges of the real world. Through this conference, we aim to foster meaningful dialogue between industry leaders like yourselves and our esteemed academicians. These discussions will pave the way for innovative collaborations that will equip our students with necessary skills and knowledge to thrive in their chosen fields. I encourage all participating members, esteemed faculties from other institutions, dedicated students and research scholars from various colleges, as well as our own distinguished faculty members and students of Guru Nanak College to engage actively in this conference. This is a unique opportunity to learn from industry leaders, gain valuable insights into the practical applications of your academic pursuits and establish a robust foundation for your future careers. Once again, a warm welcome to all of you. May this conference be a resounding success, fostering a vibrant ecosystem of knowledge sharing and industry academia collaboration. Thank you all very much for this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am, for the note of warm welcome incorporating the achievements of our institution. We now have the pleasure of inviting the Organizing Secretary and IQAC Assistant Coordinator, Dr. M. Mahendra Kumar, to elucidate the theme of our event, offering us valuable insights and laying the groundwork of our discussions and activities on the topic of collaborating academia and industry.
Thank you very much, ma'am. A very warm good morning to the dignitaries on the dais and to all present here. I deem it an honor to introduce the theme of the National Conference on the Role of Industry Academia Collaborations for Connecting Classroom Knowledge and the Real-World Applications, IACCRA 2024. This conference aims to bring together academicians, researchers, industry experts to discuss strategies, share insights, and develop actionable plans to explore and enhance mutual relationship between industry and academia. Academia and industry are two strong pillars of the nation. A continuous and collaborative engagement between the two will help the economy of the country grow very fast on all parameters, be it GDP, export, employment, quality of goods and services, etc. While at the same time, it will benefit both academia and industry immensely. Academia will be able to develop and nurture large number of need-based quality manpower with solutions to every problem, whereas the industry will be able to adopt and cater to the changing requirement of the market very quickly and cost-effectively. The coming together of the two pillars is extremely critical today than ever before. The academic world is known to delve deep into research and bring out creative ideas and models for implementation, and the industry can be credited with the task of commercializing these ideas. A continuous and productive interface between industry and academia helps in meeting the huge challenges faced across all industries and convert opportunities to its benefit. The industry-academia collaborations have become the reason for the rise of blockbuster discoveries over the years and supported a large number of students to go from educational institutions to the corporate world. In many advanced countries, industries reach out to the educational institutions for innovation into products and processes and that help them by funding research. But in India, the situation is different, where corporates and industries presently rely on their own R&D team. This can be mainly attributed to the various factors like lack of expertise, lack of social awareness, non-availability of funding or scholarships, and research findings. The educational institutions have to step up their research capabilities, recognize such opportunities from industry, and build a constructive framework for collaboration. This will go a long way in making our nation an industrial hub, both in terms of tangible products and services. I'm sure these 2 days you will have a productive and fruitful deliberations, and let's all get benefited by the discussions. I thank our more revered General Secretary Correspondent Sir, Principal Madam, and the IACCRA Coordinator Madam for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the vivid explanation. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure and admiration that we proceed to the felicitation ceremony, where we honor and recognize the outstanding contributions of our eminent guests. We now invite the Controller of Examinations, Dr. Kumaraguru Sir, to adorn the Chief Guest, Mr. C. Sendil Kannan, with an Angavastram as we honor his contributions and achievement. Thank you, sir. We now request our Vice Principal, Dr. Anita Malishati ma'am, to present the fruit basket as a token of enrichment. Thank you, ma'am. We request our principal, ma'am, Dr. T.K. Avaikodai, to come forward and extend the heartfelt felicitations to our esteemed guest with the memento. Thank you, ma'am. We now invite Dr. Mahendra Kumar to embellish the guest of honor, Mr. M. Nandakumar, with an Angavastram as we honor his significant impact and dedication. Thank you, sir. We now request our IQAC coordinator, Dr. D. Saumya, to present the fruit basket as a token of abundance. Thank you, ma'am. We kindly ask our principal to step forward and present the memento to our distinguished guest, extending our sincere congratulations. Thank you, ma'am. We now invite Dr. Kumaraguru, the Controller of Examinations, to present an Angavastram to our personage, CMA Srinivasa Prasad ji, as we celebrate his remarkable contributions and commitment. Thank you, sir. We now request our Dean of Languages, Dr. L.R.S. Kalanidhi ma'am, to present the fruit basket as a token of individuality and diversity. Thank you, ma'am. We request our principal to present the memento to our luminary, expressing our profound gratefulness and appreciation for the outstanding achievement and service. Thank you, dignitaries. It is a rectitude to present the official conference book of abstracts, a testament to the wealth of knowledge and groundbreaking research shared at this event. May this collection inspire and drive innovation in our field. And I invite the chief guest to release the book, which is first going to be handed over to the principal, ma'am. We request Dr. Gayatri to join us on the stage. As we embark on this journey of knowledge and inspiration, it is with great pleasure I introduce and formally invite our esteemed Chief Editor, Dr. L.R.S. Kalanadi, Associate Professor and Dean of Languages, to address the erudite gathering about the record of her acumen and observance during her course of heading her editorial journey. Ma'am, please.
Yeah. Respected chief guest of this two-day national conference, Mr. C. Sendil Kannan, guest of honor, Mr. M. Nandakumar, chairperson for technical session, CMA, TCA, Srinivasa Prasadji, respected general secretary and correspondent, Mr. Manjit Singh Nair, a respected advisor, Dr. Marlene Moraes in absentia, respected principal, Dr. T.K. Avaikodai, vice principal, Dr. Anita Malishetty, our respected controller of examinations, Dr. P.V. Kumaraguru, the IQAC coordinator and convener of this two-day national event, Dr. Soumya, assistant coordinator IQAC and the organizing secretary of this two-day national conference, Dr. Mahendra Kumar, the resource person for the technical sessions, Dr. Thiagu, learned members, our Dean Staff Affairs, Dr. Thirumagan sir, learned colleagues from various departments and programs, my dear students, participants, and presenters, online and offline. It's really a great privilege for me to stand before you as the editor of the Book of Abstracts for this two-day national conference. We formed a team of 9 members, and we had our own roles and responsibilities in bringing out the baby of the conference, the Book of Abstracts. We mobilized papers from in-house and outside, and I think nearly 4 months ago we started our process, and we had a special mail ID created for it, and we collected abstracts, and it's really overwhelming to see that there are 96 abstracts with 146 authors. They're all there in the Book of Abstracts. It's really an overwhelming response. And of course, we had other responsibilities in replying to their mail, and then we reviewed all the papers, categorically and methodically, and they were all checked for their plagiarism. And I should owe my thanks to Dr. Gayatri, who was very much instrumental in getting ISBN for this book. This is really very, very important aspect of this Book of Abstracts. Hearty thanks to you, madam. And we had coordinated with the printer Subramanian, and today the baby is born. And we have received messages from all the VIPs and all the resource persons, and they all find place in the Book of Abstracts. The abstracts are from diverse fields relating to the theme of the conference and the various sub-themes such as innovative pedagogy, industry, academia, collaboration, integration and technology, and integration of technology and ICT tools for educational enhancement, open and distance learning, role of artificial intelligence and machine learning in modern education, research and innovation, and the promotion of multilingualism in teaching and learning. These diverse topics relate or they reflect really the myriad ways in which academic research can drive industrial innovation and how industry challenges can in turn inspire academic inquiry and advancement. The articles chosen for publication were screened by a team of reviewers at different stages to check their originality and creativity. I extend my special thanks to all the authors, eminent academicians, and industrial representatives for their invaluable contributions and hard work. Their dedication and expertise have been instrumental in ensuring the high quality of the Book of Abstracts. I am deeply grateful to our college management, Guru Nanak Educational Society, our General Secretary and Correspondent, Mr. Manju Singh Nair, our advisor, Dr. Marlin Moraes, Principal, Dr. T.K. Avikode, Dean Academics, Dr. Swati Paliwal, Controller of Examinations, Dr. P.V. Kumaraguru, Vice Principal, SFS, Dr. Anita Malishetty, IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Soumya, Assistant Coordinator, IQAC, Dr. Mahindra Kumar, CAO, Chief Administrative Officer, Madam Krishna Aristotle, members of the editorial board. We have a small list of editorial board. I would like to acknowledge my gratitude to them in this August gathering. Dr. M. Anis, Dr. A. Suganti Rao, Mr. K. Jayaprasad, Dr. E. Gayatri, Dr. J. Vanati, Dr. V. Porchelian, Dr. S. Adilinga Sanjit, Dr. S. Tangam, and Dr. M. Shyamala, and all the presenters who have come from across the globe. In fact, I'm very happy to share with you all that we have received papers from Malaysia, from Manipal Global Next University, and a presenter has come in our presence. She is Mrs. Banani Rai Chowdhury, and really I'm very thankful to you, madam, for having graced this occasion. And all the participants and the students who are present here, who are going to have a very good learning experience through this two-day national event. And with these few words, I'm extremely happy that I've been given an opportunity to share with you how the Book of Abstracts has been born in your presence. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, ma'am, for the quick rundown of the Herculean task and the due acknowledgement. We are honored to introduce our distinguished chief guest, Mr. Sendil Kannan, Managing Director,
Adi Shakti Projects Private Limited, Chennai.
His company is a pioneer to manufacture and deliver industrial machinery under one roof, exporting to over 40 and more companies in a long run of 20 years of innovative journey. On the same accord, I welcome Ms. Jocelyn, Assistant Professor, English, member of Media Center, to introduce the luminary to us.
An entrepreneur is a leader of excellence, trailblazer, and pioneer who constantly attempts to bring changes to his generation. And when we look at trailblazers throughout history, they have always been people who have consistently pushed the envelope to make a better world for everyone. Today, we have with us here at Guru Nanak College one such individual, an inspiring entrepreneur, a visionary leader, a man who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Mr. C. Sendil Kannan, founder and managing director, Adi Shakti Projects Private Limited and Shini Innovations Private Limited. With a background in mechanical engineering and business administration and over 30 years of industrial experience, Mr. Sendil Kannan's career stands as a testament to the fact that hard work and resilience are the cornerstone of a successful business empire. His pet project, Adi Shakti Projects Private Limited, was conceived in 2004 with a vision to offer world-class industrial products to a global clientele. Boasting of a comprehensive product range of industrial machinery, from processing equipment and packaging machinery to automation products, Adi Shakti has always stayed true to its vision of supplying a huge cameo of industrial products of international standards to its clients across the globe. And nearly 20 years into its journey of innovation, Adi Shakti Projects has emerged as the only company in the country to manufacture and deliver all machinery under one roof, designing and delivering 6,000 plus machineries to 40 plus countries across the globe. Shini Innovations Private Limited, which is yet another brainchild of Mr. Sendil Kannan, was founded in 2013 with the aim of manufacturing, supplying, and trading the finest quality range of herbal products, including soaps, hair oil, toothpaste, and much more. Known for Kreya soaps and Adiveda hair oil, Shini Innovations is the manufacturer of the world's first 3-in-1 formula toilet soaps, and Mr. C. Sendilkannan also holds a patent for the innovation of a compounded solid soap. So it is indeed with great pleasure that I invite this exceptional leader and ingenious innovator, Mr. C. Sendilkannan, founder and managing director, Adi Shakti Projects Private Limited and Shini Innovations, to deliver the inaugural address. Sir.
Good morning, everybody. Respected members on the dais, Dr. T.K. Avaikode, Principal, Dr. D. Soumya, Coordinator, IQAC, then actually Dr. Anita Malistri, and or my fellow chief guest, Mr. Nandakumar from Nanwin Energy LLP, and CMA TCS Srinivasa Prasad sir, and the Controller of Examinations, Dr. Mahendra Kumar, and the entire team of Guru Nanak College. I am very happy and privileged to be here in this esteemed gathering. So actually, I just don't want to keep it a very formal sort of session. I think you will allow me to speak very casually. So our native language will be very easy for me to convey to you all the experiences in a very, it can reach you very fast. Just I will be mixing with Tamil also, please don't mind. So actually this is a wonderful gathering, and Guru Nanak College, it's actually, this college has got a very great tradition, formed in 1971. I heard through ma'am that this is one among the top 100 colleges in the country, ranked by India Today and all the esteemed journals. So you're all blessed to be here. So it's all blessed to be here in such a wonderful college, and being in the name of Guru Nanak. Founder, we can founder, start, you can find anything. But somebody who has found the religion itself, his name Mr. Guru Nanak. And the institution you are studying, it's our Suyamba Velila. So that sort of ஒரு சுயம்பா வரணுங்கிற ஒரு ஆர்வம் எல்லா இடத்துலையுமே இருக்கணும். ஸோ இந்த ஆர்வம் பார்த்தோம்னா நம்மளா some fire we have to create in our own bellies. So இது ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு thought. இந்த particular conference, this particular conference of role of industry, academia collaboration for connecting படிச்சுட்டு what we do is exam முதல் நாள் தான் நிறைய பேர் படிப்பாங்க. படிச்சுட்டு எக்ஸாம் எழுதி பாஸ் பண்ணிட்டு then they come out of the college, then ஏதோ ஒரு இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில போய் உட்காந்துட்டு ஏதோ ஒரு கம்பெனில இருந்துட்டு அது மாதிரி லைஃப் பார்த்தா எல்லாரோட லைஃபும் போயிடும். லைஃப் இஸ் லைக் தட். See, whether you work or not, whether you do anything or not, life will go like that. But why we all study this? எதுக்கு படிக்கிறோம்? இவ்வளோ சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ் இருக்கு. There is a meaning behind that. Or academy, or very thoughtful process. This type of this many subjects being, brought in for each and every degrees, BCom or BA, BSc, whatever it is. So இது கொண்டு வந்திருக்காங்க. இந்த தாட்டோட கொண்டு வந்த இந்த டிகிரிஸ் பார்த்தோம்னா நமக்கு what is that it is going to do for our life. ஸோ இந்த லைஃபுக்கு நம்ம என்ன பண்ண போகுது, அது ரொம்ப பெரிய கொஸ்டின் மார்க்காக தான் இருக்கும் நிறைய பேருக்கு. இப்போ பார்த்தோன்னா see whether you study or not, there will be a lot of people who have achieved in business or sports or music நிறைய பேர் அச்சீவ் பண்ணியிருப்பாங்க. பட் அவங்கள்ட்ட when you go and ask them, are you happy about about your achievement, they will definitely say yes, but they will definitely say, அதாவது படிக்காமல் அச்சீவ் பண்ணாங்க எல்லாருமே, they say இன்னும் படிச்சிருந்தா இன்னும் பெட்டராக பண்ணியிருப்பேனே அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு, நல்லா படிச்சிருந்தா நல்லா பெட்டராக பண்ணியிருப்பேனே அப்படின்னு they will definitely have a sort of a feeling. ஸோ நம்ம படிக்கிறோம், we are all படிச்சுட்டு இருக்கும்போது பார்த்தோன்னா வாழ்க்கைக்கு தேவையானதை புரிஞ்சு படிக்க ஆரம்பித்தோம் அப்படின்னா it will be very good. அதுதான் இந்த தீமை, the role of industry academia collaboration for connecting classroom knowledge and real world applications. Probably actually நான் ஒரு எனக்கு கரெக்டாக மேபி எனக்கு தெரியல இது how I came here, but this is a very very beautiful topic which I also liked it to address in some colleges because there is a big gap. The students coming out of the college are not industry ready predominantly. I cannot say every college. There are a lot of colleges, but you are all blessed to have such an institution. So you would have crossed through a lot of lecturers, professors, எல்லா பேரோடையும் cross பண்ணியிருப்பீங்க. The same subject ஒரு மேக்ஸ் டீச் பண்ணுற ஒருத்தர், the teacher makes the difference. Chemistry teach பண்ணுறவங்க, the chemistry makes the difference. The teacher makes the difference. The same chemistry ஒரு ப்ரொஃபஸர் நடத்தும் போது it will be boring. The same chemistry somebody does it, it will be excellent. So அதே போல தான் ஒரு இன்ஸ்டிடியூஷன், this type of institution makes a big difference because ஒரு ரியல் வேர்ல்டு அப்ளிகேஷன்ஸை டச் பண்ணி உங்களோட அகாடமிக்ஸை கொண்டு போகிறது வந்து இட்ஸ் அ பிரில்லியன்ட் ஐடியா. வாட் டாக்டர் மகேந்திர குமார் வாஸ் ஸ்பீக்கிங், அது வந்து இட்ஸ் அ சென்சிபிள் பார்ட் வாட் ஹி டச்ட். என்ன சொன்னார், த ஃபண்டிங் ஃபார் ஆர்என்டி ஃபார் மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் இன் இந்தியா, இன் வேர்ல்டில் வந்து பார்த்தோன்னா கவர்மெண்ட் இஸ் ஃபண்டிங். இன் இந்தியா ஒன்லி corporates and business houses are doing their own funding for R&D, research and development. That's a very, very sensitive area. There he also said that the colleges should go and help the companies or the industries for innovation. That's a brilliant idea. I have through man that your biotechnology students are manufacturing soaps in your own lab. That's a beautiful thing, and it seems you are all making some USPs also. ஸோ என்ன தேவையோ அது மாதிரி செஞ்சு கொடுக்குறீங்கன்னு கேள்விப்பட்டேன். தட்ஸ் எ பியூட்டிஃபுல் திங். ஆக்சுவலாக என்னென்னா, அதாவது ஃபார் பிஸ்னஸில் நல்லபடியாக வரணும் அப்படின்னா there are two main things in business. One is research and innovation and development, and second thing is marketing. And the two things are very very important. So innovation plays a very very major role in a business scenario. How are you different from others? So அதுக்கு வந்து this type of research and development what your college is trying to do, bridging the gap with the industries for the funding needs is a brilliant idea. I really congratulate you, sir. Really, actually it's a beautiful thing what you have told that. If it happens means people like us, see we are all, I come from a very normal background. With lot of dreams of growing big. I heard to work for 10 years to acquire knowledge of how the business goes. So இதெல்லாமே பண்ணிட்டு தான் வந்தேன். பட் எப்படி மேலே வர்றது? This world is so competitive. You get into everything. World is so competitive. How are you going to excel in this? அப்படிங்கும்போது research, development, innovation, this plays a very, very, very major role. And right from the beginning of our company, we do a lot of developments, in-house developments. We fail, we succeed, we fail, we succeed. நிறைய ஃபெயிலியர்ஸோட தான் this will failure be a part of everybody's life. நம்மளோட லைஃப்பில் ஒருத்தரோட லைஃப்லையும் இன்றைக்கி மேடையில் இருக்கிற அவ்வளோ பேருமே would have crossed through a lot of failures and they would have come through a lot of successes. Successes does not mean it's going to be permanent, and failure is not also going to be permanent. So அந்த மாதிரி we crossed through a lot of things and then we got it into a right track. Now with all these innovations, we are the only company in the country to have all machinery under one roof. We have 600 plus designs with us. So in the innovation is only putting us on the top of that track. So the innovation plays a very very major role. And we have to be always like, இதெல்லாம் வந்து பார்த்தோன்னா நான் வந்து இப்போது டு இப்போ என்ன விஷயம் அப்படின்னா என்னோட காலேஜ் மேட்ஸ் என்னோட கிளாஸ்மேட்ஸ் வந்து பார்த்தோம்னா நிறைய பேர் they got into different fields like IT. They go into படித்ததுக்கு சம்மந்தம் இல்லாமல் நிறைய போயிட்டாங்க. பட் நான் வந்து பார்த்தோன்னா ஒரு படித்த ஃபீல்டு இன்ஜினியரிங், மெக்கானிக்கல் இன்ஜினியரிங் படித்தேன், மெக்கானிக்கல் இன்ஜினியரிங்கில் இருக்கேன். MBA படித்தேன். MBAவில் என்ன வாட் எவர் ஐ லேர்ன் இன் MBA, வாட் எவர் ஐ லேர்ன் இன் இன்ஜினியரிங், ஐ எம் அடாப்டிங் இன் மை பிஸ்னஸ். ஸோ அதுதான் இந்த டாபிக் ஆல்சோ. இந்த ரோல் ஆஃப் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி அகாடமியா கொலாபரேஷன் ஃபார் கனெக்டிங் கிளாஸ் ரூம் நாலேஜ் அண்ட் ரியல் வேர்ல்டு அப்ளிகேஷன்ஸ். எப்படி ரியல் வேர்ல்டு அப்ளிகேஷன்ஸ் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணும்? சப்போஸ் பிஸ்னஸ் MBA ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கீங்க, இல்லைனா BBA ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் இருக்கீங்க அப்படின்னா, நீங்கள் நிறையா படிப்பீங்க பிரின்சிபல்ஸ் ஆஃப் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட், ஆர்கனைசேஷனல் பிஹேவியர், மேனேஜரல் அக்கௌண்டிங், ஃபினான்ஷியல் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட், நிறைய படிப்பீங்க. இதை கொண்டு போயிட்டு இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில் we can apply in each and everything. ஸோ பண்ணும்போது பார்த்தோன்னா you get lot of ஒரு த்ரில் இருக்கும், ஒரு சாட்டிஸ்ஃபேக்ஷன் இருக்கும். யூ டூ மச் பெட்டர் தேன் வாட் அதர்ஸ் டூ. ஸோ இந்த கனெக்ட்ஸ். ஸோ இது வந்து என்னென்னா ஒரு புக்கை தியரியாகவே படிச்சுட்டு வராமல் ப்ராக்டிக்கல் சென்ஸோட என்ன இண்டஸ்ட்ரி தேவைப்படுது அப்படிங்கிறத கொண்டு வரது வந்து அதுதான் ஒரு பெரிய விஷயம். that will make you all successful. And the Guru Nanak College, I think it's setting standards for such things. And as a company, we will also be ready to participate or give some, contribute or anything with your college so that we also get benefited and the students are also getting benefited, really. So with this, I try to give 2-3 small things, and then it's a morning session. A lot of you will be waiting for other speakers and the technical session to happen. 2-3 சின்ன சின்ன விஷயங்கள் which inspired me to keep moving. அதை மட்டும் சொல்லினா probably you will be also knowing that who is an optimist and who is a pessimist. நிறைய கதைகள் படிச்சிருப்போம். ஆப்டிமிஸ்ட்னா என்ன? ஆப்டிமிஸ்ட் ஆக்சுவலாக I think it's a long back, ஒரு 30 years back, when I think ஒரு renowned shoemaker wanted to this இந்தியாவில் வந்து ஃபுல்லாக அவங்களோட பிஸ்னஸ் வந்து ஒரு மாதிரி போயிட்டு இருக்கும்போது they wanted to explore opportunities in Africa. So they sent one person over there, அவங்களோட எக்ஸிக்யூட்டிவ் ஒருத்தர் அனுப்பிச்சு போய் பார்த்துட்டு ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி எப்படி இருக்குது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. He went there, traveled over there for 6 months. Then he came back and he said, sir, there is no opportunity. We cannot go and sell shoes because no one put shoes there. So country did not say company வந்து அவங்க விடல. சரி, ஓகே, we'll send somebody else. Say he went there. அவர் போயிட்டு ஒரு 1 monthல வேகமாக ஓடி வந்துட்டார். சார், why are we waiting? Let us go immediately, go and start our business there because nobody wears shoes. So the one who said no is a pessimist and the one who said is an optimist. So we have to find opportunities in everything, whatever we do. And one more thing which keeps inspiring me to go forward is, when I joined a company, there அவங்களோட ஒரு மந்த்ரா இருக்கும். Say, if not you, who? If not here, where? If not now, when? அது வந்து என்னை ஃபாரின் போக விடவே இல்லை. ஜாபுக்கு ஃபாரின் போகக்கூடாதுன்னு ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணிட்டேன் நான். ஐ ஹாவ் டு பி இன் இந்தியா. இந்தியா இஸ் அ பியூட்டிஃபுல் கண்ட்ரி வித் லாட் ஆஃப் ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டிஸ். நம்ம வெளியில் போய் சுற்றி பார்க்குறதுக்கு தான் ஃபாரின் போகணும். அண்ட் we can sell equipments or business, we can do business in foreign. இங்கே செய்ய முடியாது, வேறு எங்கேயுமே செய்ய முடியாது. நம்மளால் செய்ய முடியாதுன்னா யாருனாலையும் செய்ய முடியாது. இப்போ செய்யலைன்னா எப்போவுமே செய்ய முடியாது. These are all the 3 things which keeps me going. So I want you all to be winners. Winners don't do different things, they do things differently. I think you all do different things in your life and become winners, and you all become leaders of the future India. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you. And I thank you, Dr. LRS Kalanidhi, for giving me this opportunity and bringing me here. It's really my special thanks to Dr. LRS Kalanidhi for making this happen. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your impactful message on the importance of seeking opportunity through education and extending the educational barriers by specializing in research, development, and innovation. We now call upon Ms. Jocelyn, Assistant Professor English, to introduce our esteemed guest of honor, Mr. Nandakumar, Managing Director, Nanvan Energy LLP, Chennai, who is proficient in the areas of risk management, project management, and lean constructions. Ms. Jocelyn, please.
Steve Jobs once said, "Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do." We have with us today an exemplary figure who has done not just great but extraordinary work, Mr. M. Nandakumar, Managing Director, Nanvan Energy, Chennai. Having completed his mechanical engineering from Anna University, followed by an MS in Industrial Management from IIT Madras, Mr. Nandakumar began his career as an engineering management service trainee at IDAC Engineering, where he worked at various levels for 36 years, finally serving as the managing director from 2015 to 2021. Mr. Nandakumar, who is currently the chief advisor to the board at Asia Power Electrical Private Limited, also served as the director at Southern Floating Solar Limited, where he implemented the unique floating solar large capacity plants on water bodies at several locations. Pioneering innovation, powering impact. With this tagline began the journey of Nanvan Energy, a beauty of a company founded by Mr. Nandakumar in 2021 and backed by his over 39 years of experience in the energy sector. Nanvan Energy specializes in the collaboration, promotion, guidance, development, and management of projects involving the energy business in India and overseas, with a focus on renewable, water, and climate technology sectors. Mr. Nandakumar's pursuit of improving project deliveries in the engineering, procurement, and construction sector has led to the pilot and implementation of lean construction practices for the first time in the power sector in India. With hands-on involvement in various functional roles such as business development, marketing, project management, and contract execution, he has been responsible for establishing and operating overseas entities in UAE, Kuwait, Oman, Saudi Arabia, and Malaysia. A convener of the Energy Panel with FICCI Tamil Nadu State Council, a certified project director of Level A by Project Management Associates India, and the list just goes on. What I have enumerated so far are just a few of the numerous achievements of his long and illustrious career. And so, without further ado, I invite this brilliant and fascinating entrepreneur, an enigmatic personality, Mr. Nandakumar M., Managing Director, Nanvan Energy, to deliver the keynote address. Sir.
தல்லா விலையிலும் தக்காரும் தாழ்விழா செல்வரும் சேர்வது நாடு. நல்ல விளைபொருளும் கேடில்லாத செல்வமும் நல்ல அறிஞர்களையும் கொண்ட நாடே பொருந்திய நாடாக கருதப்படும். A kingdom is that in which good cultivation, you have wealth which is yielded through a right means, and you got also a kind of a right mix of the people is called as a real kingdom. This is from the Tirukkural. The poet Thiruvalluvar, who was supposed to have lived in Mylapore, few kilometers away, few centuries back, has told this that yes, it's a place, it's as a country which has got to have a proper produce, agriculture, and inexhaustible wealth, and good people. And we are today in a forum of all such distinguished personalities, including you and the future generation of students. It's a privilege for me to be part of this event. I thank, usually the thanks comes at the end, but I again have to do that little as a kind of an introspecting in the beginning. I thank the team of the people over here on the dais and off the dais, and the future generation students. You are all going to be kind of manning the country's future. I appreciate your time and then being patient. Usually I see in most of these talks or the discussions or things like that, there used to be some kind of small here and there talk and things like that. I found that to be perfectly in order. That's the first kind of great appreciation. Probably most of the, including my alumnus institution, College of Engineering, Gindi, whenever I go, sometimes people even clap in between. Maybe they wanted to me to finish little early. I don't know. Maybe sometimes they do all these kind of innovative things to make the things a little more agile. But I found that here to be very organized. So, Madam Principal, Dr. Avakodai, Vice Principal Madam, and Dr. LRS Kalaridi Madam, the distinguished guest of, chief guest of this evening, Mr. Sendil Kannan, Mr. Ram Prasad, and Dr. Soumya, the coordinator, and the team of people and of the dais. So, good morning again to all of you. So, I'd like to have a little connect with what the thing we are talking because I always feel that everybody looks at what is in it for me. Namakku enna irukku. Let's say you are all here. What is in it for me? It could be as an individual, selfish, no issues. What is in it for me? What is in it for the organization or the place where we work? What is in it for the community at large? உடனே அடுத்த லெவல் போகணும் நிறைய பேர் you don't have to think, but at a very simple level, you think what is in it for me and what is it in it for the organization or the place where you are going to be working that. So with that, I just did some small, a kind of a presentation because it's always, we think the engineer's language is drawing. Always we communicate better with pictures and some documentation that carries little more. I can talk, there is no issue extemporary and things, but it's fine. Just wanted to have a presentation of things. So I'd like to have a kind of topics. Can just somebody move the slide or give the slide changer? I can move it also. Yeah, fine. So I'd like to have a quick, 4-5 items to discuss. An overview of whatever the opportunities in India and overseas for the graduates. Do you believe that you have got opportunities? Say yes or no? How do you say? Yes, we say yes. But is it quantified anything? We always look at quantification as a method and means. Qualitative is fine. We can always say this is generally looking beautiful, nice, but you have got to go with certain numbers. So I will talk a little bit about the numbers to say whether the opportunities really exist or not. We will also try to analyze a little why we are here and what is in it for me, the talent gap to the industry, people like us, and for you, what is that opportunity, what is the talent gap? What's the opportunities? See, what are all the sectors which throws? Yes, the first two topics, yes, we say is yes, then we come to what is the opportunity it throws upon various sectors. Let's try to understand what is it is evolving in the days to come. We can't be doing the old stuff, either illegal stuff, we can't be doing it. So what is in it? The opportunity is there. And what is the expectations we now look at? Both the side collaborating from the industry and as well as academia for the next generation to take it forward. That's the idea. So, someone can move the slide, please. Change it? Yeah. See, the opportunities if you take in India and overseas, a simple, the new projects which are being built India and as well as overseas. We talk about global now. The opportunities in India is there. We also have the wherewithal to go and work in any place in the world. We now landed in moon. So we may even be putting up a kind of a factory over there to explore certain minerals to bring back here and then launch a satellite over there, from there to transfer the electricity. We look at the options. So we look at the opportunities everywhere. So we look at the opportunity in India and overseas together. Something like $600 to $1,000 billion per year. Billion is about 8,500 crore is the kind of opportunity every year keeps coming. And this is the opportunity is projected to grow at 50% market share over the next 1.5 decades, 15 years. This is the opportunity available in India and as well as overseas together. And this is spread across all the sectors, taking the sector of the core engineering or petrochemical power, climate change, green energy, everything together, infrastructure, everything together. And the global players again are from India, China, and as well as, you have then the countries from US and Southeast Asian nations are biggest players taking a sizable slice of this business. The major portion business again, India, China, and to a large extent these developed countries are looking at it. So India is the forerunner in getting these kind of projects into its stake for the reason that we developed what we called as a kind of our own capabilities and skills over a period of time. We lived with the problems. As Sendil Kannan was mentioning, the optimist, pessimistic. Sometime the guys used to come for us for the interviews and things. He'll say, sir, I have achieved this, this, that. We used to ask them, please tell what are all the problems you have faced, what are all the failures you have faced. If you are not able to face your failure and then sustain and then come to the next stage of your discussion or interview, it is not going to be successful. You have got to face failures. You have got to learn from the failures. So we Indians have already undergone all such kind of rigmarole. We became now globally accepted. The fields like IT, ITES is accepted. If you go to the engineering field, earlier days people will not touch the Indian products. They will say, no, the quality won't be good, you won't be giving it on time and things like that. But today we are all grown up. If you go and then see many places, many positions are manned by Indians. Many products are getting positioned. So we got a sizable share in that. And again, in general, in the opportunities, the green business, which is the global, the warming and as well as the climate change related, the green related economy going to be kind of dominating in the next 2 to 3 decades of time. So that is also comprised part of this. So we now understand this is the opportunity available in India and abroad. Can you just move to this? So having we talked about, we need to little understand about the Indian business. We call GDP. I think you all guys know, irrespective of a campus student or Indian students, now we talk about GDP, which comprises the various sectors, all the, the revenues or income together added up, we say something like $3.9 trillion, the current, the economy size of India, which is poised to grow to occupy the top 3 position in the world. Currently, the US is something like close to around $20 trillion. We are about 3.9, and we are poised to become the number 3rd, maybe, in the next few years of time. That's a kind of a thing. If you say the GDP growth over a period of decades, we have got a growth, except leave about that COVID period where there is a dip. We have got a consistent, reasonably consistent growth, irrespective of the political change, irrespective of whoever comes. Ramananda, things are keep going in our place. That's the thing. We have got close to 2 digits of growth, if you see in that, close to 2 digits of growth. And, if you take the world average, it's only around 2 to 3%. World average growth is around 2 to 3%. Developed economy like US and Western countries, sometimes negative growth. That means it's a recession. They run the factory only for 4 days. This is the kind of scenario. So you all understand there is a kind of a growth potential available in India. We all aim to grow to 2-digit growth. That's the kind of a trend which is happening. So we now understand, yes, there is a growth opportunity. You said, yes, there is an opportunity. Now we are telling you the numbers and quantification, yes, there is a definitive growth for the next generation of, the young people who are all going to man and manage it. Having we talked about the GDP as such, and yes, there is a potential, let's also talk about how far it relates to our, the employment opportunities, or how that is going to contribute to the connect with us. A factor which is called the GCF, gross capital formation, is how much of the entire GDP size percentage is converted into asset. Unless you have the revenue, and then out of the revenue you form assets. These assets are going to be available for several decades, several centuries sometimes. That is going to give you a lot of opportunities in building up the asset, employment, managing that, you will get a lot of opportunities. That's called a gross capital formation. Out of the $3.9 trillion, close to something like about 28-30% is the gross capital formation in India. That means you convert out of the $3.9 trillion into assets. It could be power plants, it could be bridges, infrastructure, road, space, whatever is that you build it. If you don't build, you spend whatever all you get in the 100%, you will not have any assets. So that what is it called as a gross capital formation is happening. And if you take again compared with the world, what is that average, we are much better. Only thing is, it was all sometime during the year, about a decade back, sometime in 2012, it used to be something like 38%, 35%, which is now picking up. This again comprises the government contribution and private sector contribution both. There was a time wherein the private sector contribution was a little less, but that time the government has stepped in and then encouraged a lot of, the spending by the government to keep this asset formation in the country, so that the activities, the new asset creation, opportunities, employment does happen in that. So there is a good amount of, kind of a growth in terms of creating various infrastructure, assets and industries in the country, and this is going to continue at a level of 30% over a period of next decade of time. This is a very important thing for you to understand. Yes, there is an opportunity because when you build up, let's say, a metro, Chennai metro, or you put a monorail, or you develop a highway infra, yes, huge amounts of people are getting the opportunities. Sometime like in 2014 or so, 2010 or so, when the economy was under a deep recession, the Golden Quadrilateral was formed by our Prime Minister, wherein the bottom of the pyramid, the workmen, technicians who all got a lot of employments and opportunities in the road sector. That's all the gross capital formation indicates, that you got a good trend of growth in India, and then we are all part of that. There is where then we need good amount of skills from the people like you when you come to the industry. When sometime I take a trainee fresher from the institution and then I give it to my colleagues while I was managing director of the company, they say, sir, enna sir rendu kai kaaloda kondu vandu aala kudutittinga eppadi sir vela paakradhu. We used to tell that. You also came like that. Let's do some skilling to them and then give it to you who are little experienced. When they go to the project, when they start working, yes, they will have a little understanding of it. That's where that we talk about the so-called gap. We go to the next step, next slide, please. We say the skilling level now happens only 4.4% only happens. When people get graduated from the institutions, and on average, only 4.5% is the skilling, 4.4% formally getting skilled by way of training, certification, learning things. The remaining is no, they just come like that and then just the company manage or the individuals manage. So that's not a good sign. And if you take, the economic survey of 2023-24 just recently released, it says 78.5 lakhs jobs to be kept added over a period of next 5 years to keep this economy, what we talked about, that 7.2% to grow, and then our gross capital formation to be 32-33%. To keep it growing, the engine of economy, we have got to add employment of 78.5 lakhs of people every year over a period of next 5 years. And it is also again not that unachievable, because last year even the employment provident fund roll is something like around 1.3 crores already they enrolled. So that means the employment generation is possible. That's what is the thing. So the gap is still there because you got only 4.4% of skilling. So the people come here. See, there are two things. People sometimes misunderstand employment and employability. Employment is whether the employment opportunity is there or not. But yes, I have 100 people requirement, but the skill level is not there for me to do. Only 50 people are having that competency to do the job. That is the skilling what we are trying to talk. That gap is 35% across all the sectors are there. Leaving about a technician, workman, engineer, manager, everything is there. Can you move to the next slide, please? See, the employability level of the people when they graduate out from the institution, if you take it in India, something like close to around 52% is the employability level of, irrespective of that skilling is only 4.4. The employability level due to various their own learning and things is something like 52% now. That's about, about a decade back, it was only 32% was the employability level of the people. So there is a lot of, the last decade of time, there is a lot of efforts in skilling the people. That is the reason one way you are also are having such a kind of interaction with the industry and the institute to ask for, yes, first of all, who has to come forth, whether the industry has to come or the academy has to come, who will come? But yes, it is the right forum now. Somebody invites, yes, we are here, and then we have to deliberate, then we have to take it forward. That's the kind of a thing. Having we met here, definitely in any of the forum or any places, we say, yes, Guru Nanak College had this interaction media over here. They were serious about it. We'll be talking to them. Yes, they will evince interest. Oh, this college, why don't we approach them for certain kind of opportunities and things like that. That's how you have come forward now. So having at a 52% level, which is only 2% improved from the last year, is a real challenge for the days to come because the opportunities are quite big. The sectors are opening up. Next slide, please. So you have the skilling requirement by the people. One of the international research firm, we always believe international for the simple reason, okay, when somebody comes with slightly, a guy from outside, we listen. Our own people, our own family, sometimes, yes, we think that it may not be reaching us. So we listen to an international, kind of a research which says that, yes, knowledge, theoretical, yes, we all more than above. Yes, good. We graduate. Guru Nanak College, topmost institution, you already onboarded. You will undergo. The teachers would take care. You will pass your exams. You will have theoretical knowledge. You will have your, the expertise and things. But how about your hands-on experience? It's much below 5%. Your levels of your hands-on experience, the skilling, the so-called, is close to 5% or less than 5, the level. And similarly, your interpersonal communication, how do you manage a team, how do you interact, that's also is poor. So, which is below or close in the border of 5 plus, they say it is not a thing for really to people to be deployed, ready deployed in the industries. Because the opportunities are big now. People ask, you give me 50 people of this experience, 10 people of this experience, but when we don't have, then it becomes a kind of a problem. So, can you move to the next slide? So, if you take, there are, the skilling requirements, there are several set of skills of requirement. It's a quick glance I have given. So, apart from your learning, people look at whether you have certain expertise when you graduate out. That's what it says. Then whether you got a ability to kind of interact with the team as a team player and things like that. That's what, there is a wide list of things what people have researched, and the topmost is that your hands-on training, which is what is now today's forum and topic, what we are trying to discuss that. Next slide, please. So, the talent development takes place over a period of probably, again, a span. I have put a period, let's say, about 20 years. Today, the CEOs are not 20 years. I became a CEO of the company something like close to around 35, 37 or so I became. But today, people at, something like 25, 27, 28, they become founder and CEOs of companies. So this is a legacy system of moving, an entry level, a junior executive. But today we talk about in the startup companies and things like that. People, he is a chief learning officer, he is a CEO, he is a peon, he is a clerk, everything. He is a founder and he is a CEO. He does everything job and he is, fitting into the slot of not the down the line 20 years. He has idea. So people are ready to, I will talk a little bit about that. You need not have to be only looking for opportunities and employment. You can be an entrepreneur on your own. I will talk a little bit about that. So this is the normal, legacy cycle of going about, which we have to break. And at something like even 7, 8 years, 10 years, you should aim to become companies, CEOs and directors and owners of the companies. Like Mr. Sadil Khan was mentioning, yes, you got to break. And until you have that appetite, it's fine, you also can work somewhere, but have the entrepreneurial attitude. You have to think that the company is your own, and you should think that division or the section you work, you are the CEO of that. You should think, unless if you think on those lines, you may not be able to grow. And you will not be able to, come to a faster growth in your career. That's the thing. Next slide, please. So, having we talked about that, we understood, yes, globally there is opportunity. India, there is a big opportunity. And there is a skill gap. We have got to improve. That's why we are all here. We are discussing. A distinguished gathering is here. We'll be talking today, tomorrow. And there will be a lot of discussions. Yes, we talked about all the things. So, now what are all the opportunities in various sectors? I quickly listed it out so that I'll just run through. And then maybe, madam, it's okay. Maybe another 10 minutes time with the chair's permission. So, there are sector-based opportunities. What are all the sectors which throws open opportunities? There are specialization-based opportunities. There are nature of company-based opportunities, role-based, location-based. Sector-based, I will deal little detail, and then the specialization is depending on your skill, like you are more into a production guy, you are ready to work in the shop floor, connect with the people, or you work a little administrative, you wanted to be in the project management office, or you wanted to be in the financial services, sitting at work from home. This is again a specialization base. Nature of company is again the large, corporate, government, private, and again MSMEs. MSME is micro, small, medium enterprises. Today, the MSME is up to 250 crore is called as a MSME category of businesses, wherein if you are employed, there are a lot of encouragements, and many people think that we always go to the large corporates and then we work. The idea is that you wanted to be part of a running horse which is, aimed at winning. So you wanted to be part of that. You want to bet only on a winning horse. You don't want to join with the one which is a potential for you to become a winning owner of a winning horse. That's why the MSMEs, which contribute sizably to the economy, you all can be part of an MSME. You can start your own MSME, start a career with MSME so that the learnings are immense and wide. You will be able to get a wide kind of experience. And role-based, again, it could be a techno-commercial. See, you don't have to be, you could be in an art stream or a science stream or a computer science stream or a management stream. Don't have to be worried about it. Your core strength of experience remains. In addition, possess certain managerial experiences. and then try to go for a long-looking career over a period of time. And location-based pan-India, work from home, overseas, this is a set of opportunities. Having we talked about this, I will also tell where the employment gets generated. We talk about employment, where is it we want to work and things like that. Our country's economy comprises three segments: primary sector, secondary, tertiary. Primary is agriculture. We are an agricultural-based economy even now. We eat our own food, our own made food. No country donates us food. We eat our own food. So our country's economy, the GDP, next slide please. So it is something like close to around, the GDP size is close to 18.3% of our economy of 3.9 trillion is agriculture contributes, which is 18.3%. But you know how much is that employment it generates? It generates close to 46%. See, the GDP size wise, it is the lowest, but it gives you the more opportunity and employment. And if you take the next sector, which is the core manufacturing and construction, which is in terms of GDP something close to around 31.7%, it generates almost one-on-one job close to about 24%. That is why the government is looking at increase the manufacturing content in the GDP. They say make in India. And a lot of the indigenization. Today, earlier while we execute large projects like 5,000 crore, 10,000 crore, we always have the limitations in the Indian manufacturer setup. So today the government has said 80% has got to be in Indian content. When we execute certain projects, large power plants, something 80% has got to be the local content in India. Even certain contents you bring, the border sharing country like China, they said, no, it is not physically mentioned as China. They said border sharing country. It could be China. You got to bring it in knockdown condition, then assemble here, make it here. They don't allow you a finished manufactured component. So the government is looking at increasing the component of the manufacturing, the GDP, more for the reason because it directly generates the employment. So there is where the growth of the economy lies, and there is where the opportunities for us lies in that. So the government is looking at the manufacturing sector, a very big growth. The next is the service sector, which is your typical BFSI, banking, financial, services, insurance, and all these sectors together contribute to the economy close to around 50%. But in terms of employment, it is only about something like 26-28% only it generates. So the focus now by the government is equally on agriculture digitalization, agricultural new crops, the millet, kind of farming, a lot of, the startups in the agri sector is being encouraged very widely. And agriculture has got also a discipline called agriculture engineering. And, it's very widely, is being encouraged. Next is the core manufacturing, the services. The government looks at the opportunities in these sectors. This is where you get employments and opportunities over a period of time. Idea why I try to explain you this is to understand where to position yourself for you to grow over a period of time. That's the idea of talking little fundamental so that we understand and connect in a better way. Next slide, please. So, having we talked about, we said yes, there is opportunity in India. India is growing, there is a thing. But one of the study of the World Economic Forum says globally, there will be a addition in job close to around 10.2%. There will be elimination of job close to around 12.3%. Net being something like 2+% will be a minus. That means 6.9 crore people will be added to the job, new jobs. And 8.3 crore people will be eliminated of their jobs. Net is 1.4 crore people will lose jobs. Where do you want to fit in? You wanted to acquire a new skills and then come to the additional? Or if you have to remain without getting eliminated, you have got to reskill yourself and then have to stay. That's the meaning of it. This is what the World Economic Forum study says in the next 5 years, this will be the trend. So India is also part of that. Though we look at generating employment, all the opportunities, but we are also part of the global scenario. We are signatory to several treaties and organizations and agreements. So yes, this is going to be also equally impacting. There are a lot of, the disturbing things like Ukraine war and the wars in places, climate change, many things are happening. Though yes, we say we are insulated, we faced problem in the earlier years. We say we are safe, India. Yes, we are able to live safely like that. It's fine. But still, you cannot remain on your own independently in the world. You have got to connect with the world and then have to do businesses globally. Anything is well connected now globally. Any of your technology or ITES, banking, financial. So you got to live with the world. The trend says this is what going to be. So you got to be very careful while you are acquiring your skills. You got to acquire certain skills wherein people could say that you are most required. Rather than you go and then apply for position, you should say, I possess these certification and skills. Please, I am eligible for this. Please, if you are looking for that, you please take for me. That is how you should go and then seek your employment. That's the kind of a trend which is happening. Next slide, please. So, having we talked about, I will little dwell upon the various sectors of opportunities, whatever is that available, like the sectors IT, ITES, artificial intelligence, machine learning, consulting, R&D, biotech. I will talk a little bit because people everywhere talk about AI, machine learning in a very wide way. I have one or two slides on AI to talk about, then probably I will come to this. Just move to the next slide, please. I will come to the next point. The artificial intelligence, which is basically, to replace some of the jobs which is being done, we don't have to be worried about. We had the bank automation about 2 decades back. Nothing has happened. We are all fine. There are many automations are happening, but you have got to understand how the dynamic works. If you take, in India, the research says 26% of the jobs what we are doing is exposed or possible to be done by using AI. 26% of the jobs, whatever is that happening in the market. Out of which 14% is high complementarity jobs. High complementarity means something like needing 1 or 2 skills more, 1 or 2 more areas, multitasking is required. Is 14% jobs can be replaced by AI. 12% are routine, mundane clerical jobs and chatbot and kind of thing can replace. So they say 26% of your jobs can be displaced by AI. Okay. And in US, 60%. 60% is automated, many activities over there. So that can be replaced by AI. Globally, if you take, 40% is an average jobs can be replaced by AI's skills and the kind of whatever you input and do that. And if you take in terms of researchers, 23,000 papers only published in India about the AI and related whatever the advancements which is happening. Whereas in China, if you take something like 102,000 papers are published in the United States, something like 74,000 more papers. There is a big opportunity for us to do, even to understand about AI. Today only we talk about AI, something like a natural language processing, computer vision, and probably, something like we extend a little bit simulation, data analytics. These are all things we say, and then the artificial intelligence replaces certain things what we are doing manually. We write certain algorithms and procedures wherein by a manual coding what we are now preparing in an IT job can be replaced. The codes are generated by the AI itself. That's what that we are telling now. But how about the research opportunity which is available to the education institutions like you and in India as a whole? Economic Survey 2023-24 says this is the kind of a trend wherein the AI we have not gone understood. People now started about talking AI. There is an opportunity for you to even to learn and tell to the world what is AI or what is not AI. So that opportunity is there. And the sectors in India, if you take, like core sectors like agricultural technologies and retail, automotive, healthcare, these are all can be easily be deployed with AI. This is what is the trend which is happening in the market. We had a part of an European body, I am there, it's called International Project Management Associates. We are trying to study about artificial intelligence in project management while we execute large projects, could be Chennai Metro, highways, road, power plant. So we had a distinguished panel of people, 5-6 people, L&T's director and ISRO's director and people like that. I am also part of the panel. We had several discussions. We are coming out with the recommendation. We are also going to have a international kind of conference online this month end, where we'll be talking about how artificial intelligence will be put forth to execute various projects in India and as well as globally. So this is, the kind of research and things that keep going on. Next slide, please. So if you take end of it talks about for you to acquire certain skills. But again, I would say these are all the normally any soft skill people in a mundane way will tell you, please you acquire these soft skills end of the semester, you go and apply for some job and get it. If you only acquire these skills, sorry, you will be replaced by the AI's skills. You have got to go beyond that and then have to learn. That's what is the message what you are trying to understand. Go back to the old that sector-wise opportunities, please. So we talk about then the next set of opportunities in the financial services, BFSI sector, and we have got Mr. Prasad sir, who is the person who generates, who creates professionals in the accounting, in the financial services, is here with us. So this sector is sizably contributes for employment opportunities. And end of it, all of us, as I told you, what is in it for me? The bottom line. We talk about numbers, financial numbers, the cost or the profit or the money which is available, yes, is there for us or not. The financial services is necessary. Even whoever is start your own company or whatever is that you do, you have got to be financially sound. Even if you are in whatever the stream of thing, unless you understand how the financial terminologies and things like that work, you may not be able to be successful. You got to map and understand the financial terminologies and things like that. The financial sector throws open huge set of opportunities towards that. And you got the climate change again is another big area. You all see that the rains happening unseasonally. Last year we had a huge rain in Chennai. It was flooded and then it was remaining for 40 hours in several places, even much more than that. It's all due to some extent due to the climate change. Climate change is something like the global is getting warmed. When the sun rays comes in, it has to get reflected and then has to go out. Part of it is, when it is coming out and then have to go out, is trapped inside the atmosphere. So the volumes of the CO2 and various greenhouse gases trapped in the atmosphere is huge. And they say whatever is that now the budget available for us to emit is only for next 2 to 3 years. Beyond that, if we emit, the globe will get warmed beyond a permissible temperature. Now they say if it is not controlled within 1.5 to 2 degrees of warming up, there are several threats would happen in terms of forest fire and abnormal behavior of sea level rise is imminent. Even the sea level rise in Chennai is observed. Many places in Chennai would get flooded or submerged over a period of next 2 to 3 decades. This is what it says. So you got to kind of contain the greenhouse gas emissions, which is primarily CO2, methane, and there is a family of gases like carbon tetrafluoride. So these are all the gases are all getting emitted. So when you emit these gases, it goes into the atmosphere. It is not able to go out of the atmosphere. It forms a layer and then it's remained trapped. With getting trapped, the heat rays which comes inside from the sun is not able to go out. Part of it is the CO2 what we are emitting getting dissolved in the sea. Part of it is getting trapped in the atmosphere. This creates a huge set of problems in terms of the climate change. So recently I underwent a climate change course for about 15 weeks by a US climate school. It talks about the climate science, how is it going to happen, how is it going to impact everywhere. There are forest fire happening, everywhere is happening, and then there are sea level rises, impacts. So we develop certain case studies, how is it going to impact over a period of time. Everybody will be kind of impacted due to that. Out of that, there are good amount of opportunities are also equally there to have renewable energy. We say the energy which is being now produced in the country is something close to around 60-70% is out of the fossil fuel, coal, oil, gas. But if you produce from the natural source like wind, solar and biomass and things like that, yes, substantially you can reduce your CO2 emissions. That's what it says. So that is, we are already in that. So the climate change and the energy opportunity is a very big opportunity for the next 2-3 years. I would even suggest you to look at developing certain skills on the climate change so that it becomes more and more useful for the people to take. Then the infrastructure, it covers the wide road sector, water, everything. You got agriculture, the food processing, and the budget in the recent times has given a huge amount of push for the agri sector. Then the industry, you got a core manufacturing, aerospace, defense is being privatized in a very big way. That gives opportunity. Then the gig economy. The gig economy, which is the freelancing economy, is going to go in a very big way. People don't have to cling on to one particular job or assignment. They have got to be freelancing basis. People can work. That gig economy is going to work. Then the next is the care economy. Currently, the Indian population is something like the people who are aged, under the definition of aging, is 22%, which is expected to grow something close to around 30% by 2030. So this care economy of taking care in the health sector is going to be a big opportunity in the days to come. So you don't have to limit yourself to the stream. You can always connect with the healthcare management, aging people management. This throws up another set of opportunities. Having we talked about, can you just move to the next slide, please? This we talked about, then we said certain skills. Next slide, please. So next slide, please. So having we talked about some of these skills and areas, what we look at is how is that we are going to, next slide we can move. So what we are trying to, the industry expectations are things. how is that to improve the skills and things like that. I got 4 or 5 points. With that, I will be closing my discussions. And case study based learning. So what Sajil Kannan was mentioning, and then a few of the other speakers, Mr. Mahindra Kumar and things were making, connect between industry, academia is not there, things like that. So there is a best method of learning. You don't have, every time may not be possible for you to visit industry, visit a particular factory due to various reasons and various. Case method of learning is, you will be developing, simulating the condition of a real life, what has happened outside academia, develop it as a case, and then be discussing it. This case method of learning got evolved in Harvard University, and it became very widely prevalent. Now IIM Ahmedabad is developing a lot of cases. I have developed a lot of cases. Writing a case, simulating all the conditions are very tough because you got to simulate the conditions. Part of our International Project Management Association, we used to have the case studies given to the people. Apart from the learning, case study has to be understood and then people have to do that. So what you should have to do, rather than studying one particular subject, in order to have an in-depth understanding, try to develop case studies. I am part of the syllabus committee of Masters in Engineering Management in Anna University, Gind Engineering. They 1.5 years program, many theoretical. I told what the guys will do, please introduce a case study. I told we will come and then develop a case study and then give. So every of you have to develop the case studies in your own department. You are an autonomous institute. You are at a, kind of a flexibility to develop the case studies. If you study one subject, you dedicate equal time, 50% theoretical, 50% on the case study of how it works. Let's say you develop a financial model for a company or for a startup company. The financial model, let's say including the cash flow or certain ratio analysis, everything you do. Finally, you develop a case study of a similar model what has been developed in the industry. Give it to the student, give it to the people, get some industry guy or your own people, try to simulate and brainstorm how that has really happened. What was the outcome of that industry? How to analyze? You have to read the balance sheets. You give a successful companies, failed companies, give it to the guys and then tell them after teaching this set of ratios and the fundamentals, tell them please study and then tell whether it is a good balance sheet or how it looks, how it will look like in the days to come. Let him come with answers. The case method of learning you have got to definitely implement. Unless you implement, may not be able to be successful in the days to come. And probably being your own team of people can develop case studies from the industries. We are ready to support and then do that. And next is the internships. Internships, as I was mentioning, yes, is definitely required. People many times think that industry is not giving internship, it is not available. But today there are a lot of opportunities available in the internship. Internship is that you go and then work in the industry along with the people who are all working there. My professor, Dr. L.S. Ganesh from IIT Madras used to tell Nanda, I will come with you to your company. 6 months I come or 1 year. நீ சம்பளம்லாம் கொடுக்க வேணாம்பா, நான் வரம்பா வந்து உட்காந்துக்கிறேன், நீ என்ன பண்ணுறேங்கிறத நான் பார்க்குறேன்பா, I want to learn with you. Used to tell. The faculties used to tell. I put also the faculty sabbatical. The faculties have to go to the industry. Faculties has to go to the industry, understand what is the thing happening in the real world. Our great, former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, another mentioned, go to the people and meet. You don't have to sit in your own ivory tower academic. We sit in our ivory tower of industry. Nothing, it will not work. Sitting in the ivory tower, we will be looking at the bottom, telling east, west, north, west, good. Like that only we will be discussing. You please come down to the reality. You got to go to the industries. The internships are absolutely necessary. The government has understood it is not that the internships are not there or like that. Internships are being practiced, but now what I will suggest is that please do practice that very intensely. The idea is that you connect with the industry, you interact with them, you have a close association with them. What will happen is it will give you a kind of a connect with them. I want to give an example of myself. When in 1980, when our first semester was finished, we were in our native place. We just were spending time with the family, things like that. The former Vice Chancellor of Anna University, Dr. Viswanathan, D. Viswanathan, he was a lecturer at that time. He just was around Salem, and then he said, "Enna pa pannittu irukringa?" I said, "Sir, la leave poitu." No, he said, "You please come." He took us to the State Transport Corporation. That time it used to be called Anna Transport Corporation. He took us there. He brought his letterhead. ஒரு இதை போட்டு கொண்டு வந்திருந்தார், ஒரு பச்சை இங்கில் எழுதிட்டு, he said, "These boys," he met the managing director of the State Transport, "please give them internship for some weeks." So I underwent an internship for 3 weeks in that Anna Transport Corporation in the various divisions, engine shop, tire trading. After that, second semester, third, fourth, like that, every semester I had an opportunity to visit or acquired internship. Sixth semester, I believe the Chennai faced a severe water drought. The colleges, campuses were closed for about 4 or 5 months. We only came for writing the exam. So that time Usha Fans has given me a paid internship of 650 rupees. That's my first salary. And Hyderabad I went. After doing the 3 months internship, they typed out and gave me an order. Please finish your degree and then come and join with us. Either at Hyderabad or Calcutta. You come and then join, they given us. That's the thing. Internship spoke. And at the end of 8 semesters, my CV, my biodata had all the industries where I visited. So my discussions in the interview with the interviewer or the employer is not about subject. Subject anybody will answer. Heat and mass transfer will answer. Organizational theory, what Sir was mentioning, management practices. Yes, people will answer, will give it. But the internship was given an opportunity for me to speak about me. As I was mentioning, please undergo 6 semesters, 6 institutions, 6 industries you have in your experience that attached. So that you go on that demand from the industry, I got experience, please consider me for employment. It's a different scenario. So the government is now contemplating 500 companies will be in the recent budget, government has announced 500 top companies will be identified. 1 crore internships will be generated for which a stipend would be paid, and one-time travel fee of 6,000 rupees and stipend per month 5,000 will be given. So that they are looking at, they now realize there is a good opportunity of growth in India for people, but there is no skill. And like they are looking at now, the government is telling, I wanted a skill. It is not that the internship schemes are not there. I was talking to your principal ma'am and Shakila madam also. You had such a schemes already in the college also, but government is now looking to formalize and then say these internships are must. It is required. So please try to have this and then connect. When you go to one industry, you meet people. You meet several set of people. You get connectivity with the people. The human, the touch. That will give you a long way when you keep growing in your career, either your own business or things like that. Faculty sabbatical, I already mentioned. Your faculties, I would strongly tell, please ask them to visit industries, visit factory, work with them for some period of time. And then they will get a hands-on. They will come back and talk in a different style with the people. Then establishing alumni network. This is very important. You are 71 years, 71 year started, now close to about 4 decades you are there. Your alumni network is very big. People are in various positions in various echelons of life. Please connect with them. Who will carry this institution first? Yes, of course, there are general secretary, the team of people, the trust, the society is there. But still, the alumnus of this institute will care. Because when he goes and tell, I am an alumnus of Guru Nanak College outside, he will be pride when the institute does well. So he will contribute. So I am an alumnus of College of Engineering Gindi. So the Alumni Association, I am a treasurer in the Alumni Association. It has several lakhs of people starting who have graduated from 50s, 60s. The college has been started as a survey school, 230-year-old institution. The Alumni Association is about close 100 years. I am a treasurer in the Alumni Association. I take time to go through the financials, clean up, connect with the alumnus, and then we do kind of a fundraising. We give scholarships to the people. We connect with them. We get the industry guys to come and then speak to the students. Don't think that the people are in the anonymity, CEG are all also top echelons. There are still people who can't afford tuition fees, can't afford hostel fees to be vacated out. People can't speak good amount of language communication. It is there. So we do all this skilling, everything through the Alumni Association. There are a set of people who are all seniors to me, junior to me. In the SPIC, while I was there as a trainee when I joined, there was a gentleman, Dr. Sundar Vadivelu. He's passed out from the institution at 1958. He passed out. 1958, he has passed out from our institution. And I had the opportunity to connect with him. And, he is now close to 84 years. I'm able to connect with him. I said, I am from the same institution of you. He's proud. Yes, you are my company's employee, my alumnus in the college also. That's how the connect it works. So always the alumni network, you have got to independently establish contact with your alumnus, contact with your people in India, overseas and things like that. Have a kind of an interaction closely with them. That will connect with you in a very big way. That bonding, I would never will say nothing it works. There are several of we had IT issues in our alumni associations, filings and refunds and things. There are IT commissioners who are alumnus of an university. Go to them, go talk to them, get the things done. Wherever is that. There are various top positions. And yours also in the similar such a reputed institution, you got people. So the alumni network always is very important. The next is that I want to talk about the entrepreneurial approach. People are many times looking at, yes, we go get employed somewhere and think. That is not going to end up. You got to think of starting your own initiative. Even if you are to work somewhere, you think that you are in the particular division's CEO kind of a thing, then only you will be able to prosper well. Today, the government has come out with several initiatives. I believe you will be having incubation centers in the college. There are missions like Atal Innovation Mission, Atal Innovation Centers, Atal Innovation Rural Centers, several, the things are there. The idea is that today if you got an idea, you don't have to worry about, you go to that incubation center, nurture your ideas, people will fund you. They will allow you 18 months time, extendable to 24 months time. You can convert that idea into an workable model. That idea, you would not have put your money, but you would have put your mind. Somebody would have funded. It would have fetched, let us say, you put 5 lakhs, 100x or sometimes 200x, it will get into multiples of valuation. Because your idea will be innovative. You know, the concepts like Flipkart, Snapdeal, or certain, the very, very novel ideas, even that of like a concept like Swiggy. These are how it had come. People came with an entrepreneurial approach. The Ola, do you think it owns anything? No, they are integrating it. They are simply integrating everything. And then brought a common platform. And these are all being done sitting guys in US or UK somewhere, and then they try to do it. But why not we do it here itself? The entrepreneurial approach for your side, don't have to be worried only clinging on to a job, but even if you are compelled to cling on to a job, think like an entrepreneur. Over a period of time, you are part of some career of life, you can start your own business, you can start your own company. There are a lot of opportunities being available and given in the market. Then establishing the incubation center in the institution is very important. I'm not sure whether you have, there are like Atal Incubation Center you have. So please, all of you have to connect with and one another important thing is this, intellectual property right and patent filing is very important. You might have an idea, but we are hesitant. We don't go and then formally tell. Formally, we don't document. Please. The idea is that today, one of the patents, what you are trying to do, can fetch you several hundred crores over a period of time if it is properly registered. Otherwise, somebody will steal and then will do it on his own. See, we did the first floating solar floating on the water body. The guys who are giving the technology are from Europe. They claim that they got. But we also had a technology guy who is giving from China, and he says, I am also giving it. But when we went through the patenting, everything, the guys are in the process of registering and things like that. So without conflict of things, we took a design of one of the state-owned Chinese company which has built 3 Gorges Dam, which is the largest dam in the world. Taken the technology and then locally manufactured, and then we did it. Only thing is the European company was trying to look at, you are trying to copy similar to us. So we did the complete, kind of a study on the IP. So the intellectual property rights and then the patent registration is absolutely necessary. Today, whatever you are doing, that small effort can give you multiples of crores of money if it is properly documented and registered. You will be able to be legally secured. So I just prepared one slide on, just next slide please, on your career roadmap as a kind of a connect. First semester, you look at, first of all, you should visit library. You got excellent library, please visit, have the habit of visiting the library, okay? Then an internship, then a training, you have to definitely acquire. Second year, you have got to have one certification. Again, I am telling, people will say, sir, ellam theriyum sir, inge padichittu the subject. Please acquire one distinct certification on every semester, every year, if it is possible. That will only give you. You have got, I think, 82 certifications, what you are giving it. 86 certifications. It is good, yeah. So those certifications, try to do. In addition to that, whatever it is, even if it is mandatory or not mandatory, try to learn out of that, connect with whatever the things in the real world. Connect with the industries and then do that. Then attend some of the conferences. You got to definitely take internship. Then in the third year, you have to look at something like, again, certification internship. Then you got to, look for planning your higher studies and jobs. In concurrent, you got to look at improving your communication, industry connect, and your language skills you got up here. This is broadly a roadmap of, based on what we, from the industry, and then how we are looking at to connect with you. So what I was trying to tell is that, yes, there is a set of opportunities available globally. Next slide, please. You got a set of opportunities available. India is a growing country, there is a talent gap, but their talent is only 35%, there is a gap, there is a job opportunity available, sectors are throwing open in a very big way. But yes, the integration between the two ivory towers are required, then only it works. A new thinking is required. Go to the next slide. So you have got to come out of the mindset that it is not possible to do. You have got to come out of the mindset and then have to tell, yes, it is possible for us to do. And then you have got to definitely take the entrepreneurial approach in managing it. Then only you'll be able to be successful. The opportunities are plenty, you'll be able to connect. So with this, I conclude my speech, and only thing is I wanted to thank the organizers for 2-3 things. Thanks for the fruit basket. That's my dinner. I take fruit as my dinner every day. It's again, I got also a lot of your publications, talks about our ancient learning into a modern pedagogy. That's a good thing. We got several, the traits from our forefathers, founders. So those are all, yes, is required. I used to take rice in the morning, afternoon some the rice items. Evening is only fruit. So thanks for the fruit basket. I also, thank the organizers. Probably if it is, I don't know whether it is connected well or not. If it is not, there used to be a joke. There was a big event which was happening. So the guy was given a time to speak. Probably I also was given only 20 minutes, I little exceeded. So that meeting was also prolonging for a long time. So there was one guy in the meeting who became a little disturbed. So he was just going with his knife and then was going around and then trying to little this thing. But the speaker of that particular topic was keep talking without minding that. So the guy came and then kept the knife on the desk close to the speaker. So people are thinking, oh, what is the problem? This guy is talking. This guy is impatient. He has kept the knife. He said, I will not touch the speaker because the speaker is speaking. I will only catch hold of the guy who has brought the speaker. So it is probably could be Dr. Soumya. You got to either appreciate or not appreciate because she brought me. Anyway, in a lighter sense, I thank her. And then I also thank all the people. And the chemistry, what Dr. Kannan was mentioning, yes, my plus 2 teacher, we used to call Vetalapak Ramasamy. Vetalapak box oda varuvaru. I didn't buy chemistry book in my plus 2 days. 20 நிமிஷம் நடத்துவாரு 20 நிமிஷம் எழுதிக்க சொல்லுவாரு. We used to write down, then he will revise it. We wrote and then we write the exams. I didn't buy the plus 2 chemistry books. Even in engineering also when I came, Dr. Murugesan later he became the vice chancellor of Annamalai University. He also used to teach in a similar style. So the chemistry, yes, it works. So that is always, yes, we relished over a period of time of learning. But I believe with the next generation, whatever is that, we wanted to connect and then share back to you this thought and thinking to you. So I wish the function a grand success, and then I close my speech with this. So thank you all for the patient listening, and I believe it will open you a good amount of opportunity. I wish you good luck in the sessions to come. I look forward to more interactions with you in the days to come. I will also leave this PPT if you are interested to go through to understand a little more and things like that, but this is how it is going to work. Unless you have an understanding on a kind of a quantitative basis, you may not be able to be successful. Don't be only qualitative at every point of time. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that effectual keynote address, which elucidated the market potential and the scope of our nation to become an eminent global player in diverse aspects of trade and commerce, keeping in mind the ecological sustainability. And definitely, sir, institution is inclined on empowering the skill set of our students. Thank you. A note for the presenters. The presenters send your PPT to the IQAC conference mail and join the WhatsApp group and post your PPTs in the group as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we may now take a short tea break. Please take this opportunity to refresh and enjoy the refreshments and network with the fraternity. We shall reconvene our program promptly for our technical session 1. Please return after the break. The tea break's duration is 15 minutes. Please come back. The technical session 1 will be addressed by CMA TCA Srinivasa Prasad ji, the Vice President, the Institute of Accountants of India.
Everything. So we need upskilling. We'll have to equip the teachers. Then teachers learn to engage students more effectively. How to engage the students. We'll just have a small video of that also. Then improved classroom management techniques. That is what we saw, right? Doing this, then we go to the next point. There are 7-8 points. So we'll go point by point. Now, assessment of current needs. That's what we will now see. Assessment of current needs. What is the assessment? What are the points in that? If you see, we will have to evaluate existing skills, taking into the current strengths and gaps in knowledge. So what do we know? We will have to assess ourselves, and then we will have to find out what is needed. Then we will have to have a gap analysis of that. Now, understand traditional values. Just have a look at it. So, traditional values, respect for teachers, fostering a positive learning environment, values as a discipline, humility, hard work, integral part of student development. Integration of cultural heritage, if you really look at it, cultural heritage into the education promotes. Then the traditional storytelling. Even now, you just saw some of our learned speakers. They were giving you some sort of a story to drive down the point deep into our minds. So sometimes even the dry subject can be made more very, very interesting by connecting and relating to things which we normally understand, right? Now we go back and see. Understand traditional values. Now we come to, but all those things, because there are some cultural challenges. Now, if the teachers have a limited access, to professional development and opportunities, then they will not be able to grow and they will not be impact, they will not be drive down the growth in students' mind. Sometimes I do not know about this institution. We have seen many institutions where the faculty gets bogged down on administrative matters. Rather than the teaching matters, they get bogged down on administrative matters. I do not know about this institution. I hope teachers have enough time to concentrate on the growth of the students and their own knowledge. Technological advancements. If we use all the technological advancements, then we will be able to adapt effectively. And if we do not have adequate infrastructure, that's also a very big issue. Many of the institutions may not have adequate infrastructure requirements, then that will hamper the thing. So these are all the assessment of current needs. Let's go to the next point, very important. It talks about curriculum design, okay? Curriculum design. Now curriculum, if you really look at it, one is a curriculum development, another is a integration, then the third one is regulatory updated curriculum, very regular update. So this gives a lot of leeway for people to work on it. But then what happens? We'll have a blend of modern techniques with traditional values. I would like to say, because before I was coming here, I was also called, sir, if you have a PPT, இருந்தா கொடுத்துருங்க சார், நாங்கள் அங்கேருந்து ஆப்ரேட் பண்ணுவோம், நீங்கள் இங்கேருந்து ஸ்லைடு மூவ்மெண்ட் வழியாக பண்ணிக்கலான்னு. I cannot give this kind of a presentation to anybody because this is not a PPT. This is a blend of some part of the PPT and another is called a Simple Mind software with a video. So how do I operate through somebody else unless you operate? So we have a blend of modern technology and the traditional way of teaching or imparting knowledge. This is what I just thought, when you say something, it is better you demonstrate and say so that people have more faith in you instead of preaching only. So I'm only demonstrating how you can use a modern technology with a different kinds of software and then drive down the points. Now, you'll have to integrate modern technology with the traditional and value-based learning. You'll have to have your own value. You'll have to take down whatever it is. If some good points are coming, some of you must be wondering why I have opened a notebook. I went on writing. What is this man doing? Keeps on computer again doing. Everything is for this particular session. So you have a value addition for the session based on what other speakers were speaking and all. Again, we come across the last point. You can see a storytelling. It comes as a value-based learning. And then incorporate online resources. Like you have got a lot of online resources. We use all the online resources these days. It's all available in mobile learning. Every one of you learns. If you have a doubt, you don't ask anybody these days. You don't ask anybody for any help, even for a photograph, because we have got a selfie. We started depending only on us more and more. Sometimes good, sometimes may not be. Then interactive learning. Previously, it was only a one-way learning. Now we have got a lot of online portals where you have interactive learning. It asks you a question, you give an answer, it tells you either verbally or through this. So we have a different kinds of learning which is happening. Then there is one particular issue on cultural sensitivity when you go for it. Understanding diverse backgrounds. We have diverse backgrounds everywhere. In and around us, we have diverse background. That we'll have to take care of aspiration of diverse people, diverse groups. Promoting inclusively, we'll have to include everybody, every part of the society, every domain of the society, and then enhancing engagement. We'll have to engage people whenever you are going to talk to them, whenever you are going to teach, whenever you are going to add value to them. And then improving program effectiveness. Actually, any program when we do, it should have an acceptability amongst the persons who are organizing the program and the persons who are the recipients of this program. Now we go to the next point. We talked about curriculum design, and then we have this. What is PDP? Anybody? Or you can find out what it is based on what I have written. Workshops, training sessions, and training sessions. You have enhancing skills workshop, collaborative learning is another workshop and training, continuous professional development. If you really look at it, we are now doing the second and third portion. Collaborative learning. The college has brought many people like us, and then we give our experience. From our experience, we give some other points. The college learns collaborative learning for you as well as for me, because I have learned a lot of things which I have noted down in my notepad. So it's a collaborative learning for the person who is a resource person and for the people who are going to receive it. Since the hall is very big, we are not able to really have an interactive session. If it is only, say, a smaller hall, it will be a one-to-one, mainly because at this advanced stage, I think I should not do all the talking. 50% you will do, 50% I will do, but not today. The hall is very big. Now we have a collaborative learning and continuous professional development also the college authorities are doing. Enhancing skills is actually a training methodology, what we will do. Then it targeted skill development, focusing on modern teaching techniques, which the authorities and the college faculty must be really using. Now we go to the next point. Now, one is that, another is this, role of peer learning. Peer means I learn not only from people who are senior to me, I learn horizontally from whoever I am coming into contact. And we as faculty, we learned a lot from all of you students. In fact, how we should handle a class is learned only from you people, not by us on our own. First class we handle, we come to know the feedback. Second class we handle, third class, then we are able to learn and then do a good job with all of you. So enhance collaborative skills, encourage diverse perspectives, and boost confidence and motivation, which I was talking. This will be possible when we are going to upskill only through peer-to-peer learning. It will not be from senior, not from the top to bottom driven. It's not that. It's a horizontal driven. We will be able to learn. Now we go to the next point. PDP we have seen. The other one is slightly bigger. So it's a role of technology. So role of technology, learning experience, access to training, resources, facilitating collaboration. Okay, this is what we have been, how a technology is improving, where we are to get ready to be available in the market tomorrow. I am going to show you something which is about 8 years old event which has happened. Let's see what is that event. If the video doesn't come, don't worry. Audio doesn't come, don't worry. It's about a supermarket experience. Man has gone inside with his mobile. Picks up. It's Amazon Go. The Amazon which we know delivers at your doorstep. You'll have to make a payment. Mobile is put on the packet. You get inside, pick up. You want this cupcake. It's added on the cart. I don't want, so I get it, give it back. On the second thought, I want it back, take it back. And I buy whatever I want, put it in the bag, and there's a computer vision, deep learning, sensor fusion, and I just walk out. No counter, no billing, nothing. Just see how they are going out. The bill comes on your mobile, money is deducted from your bank account or your credit card. This is Amazon Go. Just walk out. Technology, no lines, no checkout, no seriously. Coming early 2017. That's what I said, It's about 7 years back video. It has already come. It is available in United Kingdom and some of the European Union countries and in USA. I think for us it will take some more time to come. So this is what the technology is going or has gone. Now all of us will have to get ready for these kind of a commerce and these kind of a commercial activities. Unless we upskill ourselves, both as teachers as well as students, I think it is going to be really, really difficult. Now when we come to EdTech tools, now this is happening in India. What is VR? Virtual reality, right? Let's see what is happening here in India. Not very far away, adjacent state, Kerala. Teacher is talking about elephant, 2, 3, and the elephant appears on the classroom. I'll talk about globe, So she rotates, the globe rotates. It's about the planetary system, planets rotating around the sun. It's not elephants. Class 6 teacher about cow.
For class 5 students of social sciences, an artificially created solar system rewards.
You can just see on top of the classroom, solar system, planetary system.
Shyam, a teacher at the school, is behind this new development. Speaker P. Shivaramakrishnan and film director Lal Jose have appreciated the school for its efforts.
Lal Jose is a film director. It's completely a VR. I think this School needs a clap. No, not me. We have Google Classroom, Kahoot, which is a quiz-based online where you will be able to do. We have massive open online courses, Udemy, Swayam and all. And this I learned from Mr. Rakesh about ABC. ABC is what? Academic Bank of Credits. So the student has the mobility. So we may have to tell all this about the student. It's a government initiative of mobility solutions for the students. Now we come to technology integration, digital citizenship. You have a DigiLocker, you have got a, we talked about academic bank of credit. Now these are all about the educational tools, what we said. Now we have a community engagement. That is also one of the important things. So community involvement, the whole community will be able to involve on upskilling of teachers as well as to the students. Communities provide really the essential resources and for funding upskilling programs. Now we have a local involvement, then supportive learning. Ways to foster involvement is what? We have got to organize community events, encourage local businesses to join. I think bigger businesses have joined today in this particular auditorium. We are very happy. Create volunteer programs that connect community members. One of the learned speakers was talking about even alumni. If you really look at it, alumni is again a community. So you should have a community, but definitely onto that. Then we have ethics and values. So there are integrating ethics and values, then emphasizing ethics, incorporating traditional values really enhances all the teaching and upskilling methodology. Then we have cultural activities. I think the college must be doing a lot of cultural activities. Now the next one is, if you really look at it, mentorship programs. So instead of a teacher student, it should be a mentor protection. That concept, when it comes, then you take care of all the aspects on the juniors so that they will be able to do. So mentorship program, mentors become experienced mentors. They need not be only the faculty. People like us can become mentors for any one of you. A batch of group of students, we can become mentors. And then that's again a collaborative learning, and then it builds a lot of confidence amongst teachers. That is one of the important point on that. Then we have monitoring programs and support with monitoring. Let's have a small look at about classroom. Slightly lengthy, I'll just shift it. Bluebell Schools International. It's a fifth space. Not you people, huh? Somebody else. So she starts with a science subject. Now we will skip the videos for somewhere else. What happens to this class, we will just have a look at it with these kind of students. So the faculty ask, whatever interests you, please show and then do. Acting, singing. This was also discussed by one of the speakers. When this point was getting discussed, I immediately added this video in today's session. There is one student who doesn't get into anything. She is a poet. This is for all those teachers who can turn around a class and then ensure that each student comes out with his or her best within herself and they achieve what they want in their life. So I thought I will show this video. Then we proceed further. We have an evaluation and feedback. We have an evaluation and feedback which is very, very important when we go for assessment and feedback. One is actually the assessment, how I am doing, how students are doing. But then the most important feedback is something else, which is this particular window, which is called Johari window model. We have got 4 quadrants. Sorry, this was 8. We have 4 quadrants. What is known to others, what is known to me, what is unknown to others, what is unknown to me. The first quadrant is open area. You also know about me, I also know about me. So it's a completely open, it's a white area. Blind spot is what? Really? I don't know about me, but others know about me. We give a comment about somebody, but then the person doesn't know that he is not able to do that properly, but he will be thinking he knows everything. The other one is hidden. I only know. I ensure that others do not know about it. The last one is unknown. You also don't know me, like when I stepped onto the stage, a old man, what he is going to talk. You also didn't know. When I came to the podium, I only know what I am going to talk, but I do not know how you are going to take it. So that was the last one. From the 4th quarter on evaluation and feedback mechanism, if everybody comes to the first quadrant, then it becomes very easy for us to proceed. Then we have a 360-degree feedback. That is what we should have. One is a self-assessment tools for the teachers, later on for the students at a later platform. If teaching effectiveness inventory, you will have to have it on a 360-degree feedback. Then only you will get. Otherwise, you will think that we do well. Reflective journals and a peer observation checklist. We can have a lot of checklist on the peer observation. Now we have a stakeholders, students' perspective, peers' perspective, superiors' perspective, self-perspective. Everything put together becomes 360-degree. This is all about now. But what about the path ahead? Let's see the path ahead, where we are, where we should learn, where we should go. What is path forward? If you really look at it, what is path forward? Increased use of technology. That could be one of the path forward. Focus on mental health and well-being. It's not enough for you to only to learn. You must be really mentally, physically healthy. If you are not physically healthy, you may not be able to come and teach. Students may not be able to come and learn. So mental, physical health. Collaboration with global institutions. This is also very important. Then when we get into the industry connect, we have, that's what the college authorities are doing. Industry connect is very important. That's what we are doing. Collaboration, partnership, guest lectures, what is happening right now here. Then joint research indicates, because I had something to tell about innovation, but a lot of things have been spoken, so I'm not getting into. Then we have what is the best practices for us to do. Continuous professional development, peer collaboration, feedback mechanism, integrating the technology, that also we just saw. But then there are challenges. If you really look at it, look at the challenges. You have pros of blending tradition and modernity. That is an advantage. What all advantage? Encourages holistic approach. It encourages the holistic approach. It enhances the student, promotes criteria thinking, critical thinking and all. These are all the plus points. But there is a limitation. Let's get to the limitation. Resistance from educators who prefer traditional way. I have seen many people don't want to use even a credit card or a debit card, or they don't want to book tickets through IRCTC website. They go to the counter, stand in the queue. They are ready to spend all the time in the world, but they don't want to do it within 1 minute. But then whether you like or not, we will be forced. Like many times, if you take a tea, when you pay 12 rupees, the tea man says, sir, please don't give money because I don't want to count money at the end of the day. Please put it in my Google Pay. Many people say, I will not use Google Pay. So we have, these are all the things, because, mind works, or mind is comfortable where you are. If you are going to shift from the place where you are, even from Mylapore to Mambalam, if somebody is to be shifted, they find it very difficult. They come fish out of water. Now, resistance, potential dilution of cultural values, difficulty in training educators. Because, if anything new is to be done, it has to be done only through faculty and the teachers and the mentors and all those people. Now, let's look at what is to be done. It is not simply upskilling, and it is not simply relearning. It is actually unlearned sometimes. Whatever I have learned, I will have to remove from my brain. I will have to put new things into it. It is unlearn, learn, relearn what you have learned properly, unlearn. Again, you start the cycle. If you really look at it, what happens here? Let's see. This is a long video. We'll simply make it faster. Before unlearn, relearn, then you have a transform. So there are a lot of things. We will just look at this particular slide. That's what I want this video. The illiterate, this point was being discussed some time back in the same podium. The illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. I don't know if you have heard of this name, Alvin Toffler. How many of you have heard this name? Can you please raise? He has written beautiful books. I think all of you should read. Alvin Toffler, he has written this sentence 50 years ago. It is not only learning, it is not only relearning. We will have to unlearn and then start relearning. That is what the most important thing. If you see learn, we have I will leave all these videos and some of the things with the college authorities in case you want, because the presentation per se cannot be left because it is in a different format. It's an interactive format, as you saw. I could make it bigger, smaller, and all. Unlearning is not about forgetting. No, unlearning is not about forgetting. Certainly not. It is about the ability to choose an alternative mental model or paradigm, like GPay. Previously, I was paying in cash. Now I can pay through my mobile. It doesn't mean that I should never carry cash or I should not handle cash. No, there is a one better and faster and secured way. I need not carry cash so that it can be pickpocketed. You may ask, sir, what happens if mobile is pickpocketed? Call the service provider, block it. Whereas when your purse is picked, I don't think you can call anybody to stop somebody using that money. They will immediately use the money. So this is very, very important. Unlearn, learn, again unlearn, learn. There are some points. We talked about innovation and all. But please remember, yesteryears, there was a concept. You learn once in your lifetime, you become an engineer or whatever it is, then you yearn for the rest of the life. You don't again go back to the college, again go back and all. These days, things have changed. You learn, you yearn for 2-3 years, you go back, learn, again come back, maybe yearn for 5-6 years, again go back to an advanced study. IIMs have 1 year executive management programs. You go back and study. So you completely recoup yourself. Previously, maybe my father, or maybe even for me initially, but then I went on adding, I'm basically a physics graduate, science graduate. Then I studied management. Then I took up the software as my profession. Then I became the cost and management accountant. I shifted to the HR, went to MM. I was the administrative head of hospital. I became ERP expert. So I have been doing a lot of training programs, certification courses, because it is not once I did a BSc, after that I will learn and then I will take a pension and then I will die. No, it's not like that. Students are doing more and more. If students are doing this, that means for the teachers, the people who come are coming with experience. They are not simple blank students. They have their own expectation, their own experiences. So we'll have to take. Then we must remember tomato alone is not a perishable commodity. Whatever knowledge you have today, that also can become a perishable commodity if that knowledge cannot be used in another place. So please remember this particular thing. And then I want to thank the organizers for bringing about the book of abstract. Some important things, page 12, if you really look at it, it talked about a triangular design approach. It talked about industry leaders, academic faculty and students. Page number 19 talked about supply chain management on mobile learning. It's a new thing. I asked Madam when we will get the complete paper. She said it takes time. I would not be forgotten to be sent that expanded version, Madam. Page 32, we have talked about real-time application in every unit of syllabus. It is written every unit of syllabus. The paper talks about real-time application. The last page, page number 96, talks about LMS, Learning Management System, virtual reality, augmented reality, blockchain and all. Once I read through the paper, I added some of the Kerala school model and all. That is what I was doing when I was using my computer. I thank every one of you for giving this opportunity. Thank you. Jai Hind. Should I have to sit?
Thank you so much, sir. That was an impeccable speech. As we move forward towards the end of our technical session 1, we come to the realization that knowledge indeed has no end. Today, we witness that the information shared by the resource person will undoubtedly value added to each of our profession and personal life. Sorry. A big thanks to you and to our esteemed speakers, participants, and organizing teams behind the scene. Thank you so much for being part of this confluence of ideas. Let's make every moment count and ensure that echoes of today's resonate far beyond our walls. Please join us for lunch, and thank you so much. And I request every one of you to join us for the technical session 2, which starts at about 2:30 at Guru Ramdas AC Seminar Hall. Let's all meet. After lunch, yes, after lunch.
And associate partner, Lakshmi Kumaran and Srijan Attorneys as a chairperson for this technical session of the National Conference. It is my great honor and privilege to introduce the distinguished resource person for today's international conference, Mr. D. Santana Gopalan. Mr. Santana Gopalan is a highly accomplished advocate and the associate partner of the tax practice at Lakshmi Kumaran and Srijan Attorneys in Chennai. With an extensive and illustrious background in consultancy and litigation within the realm of indirect taxation, Mr. Santana Gopalan has established himself as a leading expert in this field. Mr. Santana Gopalan's professional qualifications are the testimony to his expertise and dedication. He is a practicing advocate who has successfully represented numerous business clients, showcasing his adept legal acumen and strategic thinking. In addition to his legal practice, he is an esteemed associate member of Cost Accountants of India, underscoring his proficiency in cost and management accounting. This membership enriches his capacity to deliver comprehensive financial insights vital for the business clients he serves. Moreover, Mr. Santana Gopalan is an interqualified company secretary, bringing robust foundation in corporate governance, compliance, and secretarial practice. This diverse and rich professional portfolio adds significant value to his role, enabling him to navigate complex legal and financial landscape with ease and precision. Mr. Santana Gopalan's vision and ideology reflect his belief on synergetic relationship between the industry and academia. He advocates for collaborative approach where both domains can mutually benefit and involve toward the sustainability, ensuring that the theoretical knowledge and the practical applications hand in hand. Please join with me in welcoming Dr. D. Santana Gopalan sir to the stage. Hearty welcome to you, sir, with a nice round of applause in welcoming to Gurunana College. Congratulations to all the students for being the nice and eminent person before us. Thank you for the opportunity. Hearty welcome to you, sir. Thank you, Kavita ma'am. May I know the resource person to kindly take over?
Very good afternoon. Now it has been years I have been since I have been like standing before students, a lot of students sitting in front of me. So I mean actually I was having the I was going to present this topic on a different it was more like for academics. But I think at the student level it's totally different. So that I'll just make slight modification on the book. So there may be some gap between what I'm saying and what is there in the PPT, but that is just to cover the gap between the fact that this is meant for someone else and what I am going to present. Now, what do we mean by sustainability? Now, we can talk about a lot of things. There are two questions I am just posing myself. One is, what is sustainable development? And is there an option before us not to know what is a sustainable development? So broadly, sustainable development is, we can say, three aspects we need to consider in doing everything. When we say everything, every aspect of our life is governed by three aspects, which we need to keep in mind. Forgive me for the theoretical session for now. I'll just take the practical session. Now, first is the environmental aspect. Last couple of days, I came across two news which is quite bothering. One is this, unfortunate incident which Wayanad had to face. There was a sudden rainfall, unexpected sudden rainfall of 370 millimeters. So unexpected, it almost leveled a couple of villages, couple of towns. The other aspect, which is not as serious as it is, but I found it interesting in two ways. I read news saying that 18 flights have been cancelled in Leh, that is in the Union Territory of Leh. The reason is because of the climate change. The temperature in Leh Ladakh in the afternoons goes up to 30 degrees. First time ever. Actually, how can they overcome this particular aspect? How can they overcome the fact that we need to move from our existing situation to a sustainable development situation? One possibility is a collaboration between industry and the academia. Industry, the actual industry which is actually doing all the works. Academia which is doing basically kind of promoting the next generation of, I can call them employees, professionals, or every person who is going to contribute to the future in some way. So now, when you talk about industry matching, basically like filling the gap. How can they do that? I was just thinking two things. One, research papers are being uploaded by a lot of professors, academics everywhere all over the world. There were times when we used to do some research or some service, when we are providing some service to the client. First thing we used to do is, let us just check with Google. We don't even bother to check with the client about their own products or services. We used to check in Google what exactly it is. Because you get a lot of research papers everywhere. But you spend 1 hour searching for each and every paper, you don't get what you want exactly. That is exactly the problem which every industry or every professional will face. Once in a while, we may get what we want. Once in a while, we may extrapolate what we got into what we want. But we don't exactly get what we want. The other option is exactly what the talk is about, the collaboration with the academics. What is the objective of this collaboration? Suppose I want a particular product, say for example, say there is a steel product. Steel is being manufactured using so many, say, combustion and all those things which is basically generating so much amount of carbon. That is fine. Now the industry wants to scale up and say I want to reduce the carbon footprint. How do they do that? I am not an expert. But the point is, academia is exactly, this is where the academia can come inside. And this is where the industry can take the help of academia. And the solution is simple: innovation. You innovate products. You innovate something to ensure that what the industry wants can be done. And like I said, we don't have time to do this stuff. No, this is where, when I say academia can come in, you have two things. First, academia have some time which they can actually contribute in research. I'm not saying academia have time. I'm not saying industry people does not have time. I'm saying academia have and they can afford time to be doing the research, because this is precisely what academia is. Industry don't have the patience to do it. They just have a research unit, they do what they want, that is all fine. But industry is just about problem solving. Broadly speaking. They have this problem, how to solve that. They have 1 week time to solve the problem, they need to find a solution in 1 week. They don't have the luxury of like, okay, I just take another 1 week, I just take another 1 week. That is not something which is possible. And whether a person in an industry can full-fledgedly apply himself or herself for 1 year entirely for this research, that's also not right. Whether the resources the industry has to do that, it's also not possible. That is where academia comes in. One small difference I can see. Of late, there has been an instance where, today there is an instance where a client comes to us. The client wants, clients meaning an industry comes to us. Sorry for using that language. Industry person comes to us. They want to set up a business in India. They approve, they have two options to do it. One, I mean, you know for a fact that India is, there are a lot of legal issues, legal things in India that you don't know how many number of laws that is passed in India. So therefore, he has to find out 10 different lawyers, for example, to complete what the industry wants to set up. He has two options: either to find 10 different lawyers, or come to a firm where there are 10 lawyers already, so that they can just set up, consult them, do the litigation act, do the whatever that is required for setting up. Here, the industry is not collaborating with the consumer. The industry is actually outsourcing to the consultant what needs to be done. That is not what I am talking about as industry academia collaboration. I am not talking about outsourcing, I am talking about collaboration. Now, what exactly the collaboration means? Every one of us have a different skill set. To be honest, when I was doing my college, the approach to a particular problem, which, I mean, the mindset or the skill with which I approach a particular problem is totally different from what I am doing now. I would say that is both positive as well as negative. I have a certain skill set or certain approach which I used to have when I was doing my college, I am using today. If I had been there, I would have been in a much better position that I am. There are times where you get matured over time, where you find a better problem solving skills at a later time. They come with an experience. This is exactly what needs to be watched. I am talking only about students, then I will come back. Now, in 2018, there was one of the Nobel Prize winners was, I don't remember the name, but that is basically like for producing some cancer drugs. And that was a collaboration between an industry and a professor in university. Another example I can give is recently during COVID-19. We were all like shortage of this oxygen concentrator which was required for diagnosing COVID patients. We got everything. You know how we got it? It's a collaboration between Tata Institute in Bangalore and government. The reason is Tata Institute had the resource, government of India had a resource. They just need to collaborate each other and produce whatever they want to produce. Replace government with industry. This is why we are understanding. So broadly, this is what we can just summarize it. Academic institutions have a lot of benefits. You have the first is time. You have source of funds if there is a grant from the government, etc. for a particular research. The academic industries, once you collaborate with the industry, academic institutions, once you collaborate with the industry, you are going to get all the real. Just imagine a situation: learning something on a class, in a room, in a classroom, in a board, is totally different from when you actually go and sit in a factory and see actual machines. That's totally different. I can give you an example in every way. Learning accountancy in college, or even chartered accountant for that, being a chartered accountant or a cost accountant for that matter, is totally different from once you go and sit in a chartered accountant firm and do bank reconciliation. That's totally different. Cash flow statement, no. I mean, all those things which you are doing, yeah, theoretically it's all fine. You need to have all these basic knowledge. But once you get into the final, once you get into the real world, it's a different ballgame altogether. All these knowledge will help you, but this knowledge you will realize that it is not complete, it's not sufficient. That is exactly where the real world teaching is very much important, and that is exactly where this collaboration will help you guys. So, of course, this is for the institution, where once the institution becomes a research institution, obviously, it has a status of it. Like for example, you have Tata Institute in Bangalore is something, Tata Institute of Science in Bangalore, that is known to be a research institution. Whenever people come to us, we used to say like, you take a certification from IAT, because IAT has an accreditation. Not every institute has that status. As far as the industry is concerned, of course, once a collaboration happens, they are set for future campus hiring, if I can just say. And another practical thing which I came across is that many a times the industry cannot afford, especially pharma industry, the industry cannot afford all the equipment. They have to rely upon other institutes for their equipment, because the equipment is too costly. So they have to necessarily rely upon other institutions, especially research institutions, for such cases, and that's exactly where the academic institutions can come. I'm not saying academic institutions has money. I'm saying academic institutions has access to grants if they can finance, if they can. Thirdly, of course, there are common benefits that are available, like skill development is there. Also, whoever is cannot have good schools, it's also at any stage of academics. Patents, I'll come to that later. So, there is another thing I just wanted to talk about. In UK, there is a concept called spin-offs. I don't know how many institutions are actually having that in India. Spin-off is basically a university creating a special purpose kind of institute for commercializing whatever research that has been done. For example, this institution engages in some research which results in development of a product A. There is no use having the product A in this institution. It has to be commercialized. That commercialization, obviously, this institution cannot do that much diversion of the activities which this institution is doing. Therefore, a spin-off kind of a thing is being done, where a separate unit takes it over and commercializes it. Commercialization comes with various benefits, like for example, the parents, for example, is in the name of the institution. And the institution can use it further without any restrictions or anything from any outside agencies to do further research or whatever it wants. Just quickly, this is broadly the main thing I just wanted to talk about in this entire session. What is the difference between academia and industry? When it comes to academia, you want to find out what is possible. It takes 10 days, it's okay, it takes 10 days, that's fine. Because it is possible or not, that's what you need. Industry doesn't care about all those things. According to the industry, I need this, whether it's practical or not. If it's not practical, it is not. Industry is urgent, they don't have time to sit. Academicians, it's more about like analytical, they just they don't run the business. Industry talks about okay, whether it's sufficient or not. A particular product, it is whether a particular solution is sufficient or not. Academia talks about performance. Now there are four issues broadly. This is the four difficult part as far as the collaboration is concerned. Lack of trust. And industry, if you are talking about a collaboration, you are expecting the industry to hand over whatever the secret resources they have to the academics. I'll give you a classic example. Any communication between us as advocates and our clients is covered under attorney-client privilege. Even government cannot ask that details from me. There is also a concept called non-disclosure agreement, which is basically we agree that we won't disclose anything outside the concerned industry or concerned company. In spite of that, our clients are not ready to share information with us in some cases. Forget about academia. Academia's situation is much worse. So there is going to be initial hesitancy between the industry and the academia, and some situation or some mechanism should be in place to ensure that industry gets the trust to hand over the sensitive information that is required for the research, etc., to the academic institutions. Second is intellectual property. Now, intellectual property, what is an intellectual property? You produce something or you write a book. The book is yours. There is some right you have on that particular book. The reason is that you write something and somebody else monetizes it. To avoid that, you have something called intellectual property. That's called trademark. So when it comes to product, it's called patents. We have different kinds of intellectual property. The significance of intellectual properties is it carries money. Penicillin. It's where all of you have come across penicillin. Penicillin had an intellectual property for a period of 50 or 60 years. And till that 50 or 60 years, only those people who carry that particular patent for penicillin can monetize it. That is, only they can deal with penicillin, only they can sell the product. That is exactly the significance of intellectual property. When you talk about collaboration with the academia, what we are expecting is handing over that kind of, or not handing over, sharing that trademark or patent with academia. That is going to be a reason for hesitancy as far as industry is concerned. It works in two ways. If industry finds out something, say for example we had this COVID vaccine. Let us take Oxford manufactured the COVID. But India Serum Institute was manufactured in India. Now, whatever amount that is being received by Serum Institute, a portion of it will be given to Oxford. It's called royalty. They call it royalty. Of course, there are different terms. Broadly, that is being used as royalty. The reason why I am saying all this is intellectual property is not simply some kind of a tag which we have on a particular product. Intellectual property is, it carries money. You have an example like geographical indications is another intellectual property. For example, you can't use the tag of Assam tea or Darjeeling for some tea manufactured in India. Sorry, elsewhere in India. In Tamil Nadu, I can manufacture in my home and then say it's Darjeeling tea or Assam tea. Because Darjeeling tea, Assam tea has a geographical indication and that carries value. Third is dispute settlement. The purpose of having a collaboration is to reduce cost, reduce time, to basically increase the synergy between the two entities. But the problem is if there is going to be any dispute between the two organizations, we are just going to knock the doors on any academic schools. And trust me, that is not the objective of collaboration. If you are not able to sort out the problem, if you are still going to litigate on that, the objective of collaboration is going to fall. Because you are going to spend more money on litigation than on developing the product or researching on a particular space. So, what I am trying to say here is, these are, these are problems as far as, speed breakers as far as this collaboration is concerned. Some mechanism has to be put in place to solve out this problem. Now, in national education policies, 2020, the government of India tried to address this particular situation. What they did was, they suggested basically three options. One is, the government will have to necessarily come inside. Because industry is one unit, academia is another unit. How are you going to merge? Unknown people who actually did not trust each other. So government has to step in. So they suggested three options. One, let R&D cluster be set up in every, in every location, not necessarily districts, every location. There will be a representative from the government who will merge, connect both the industry and the academia. Second, every university will have to create an industry relations cell. Third, every industry will have to create university relations. Now, how it actually planned to work is, if an industry needs some solution, they will approach that particular R&D center, and R&D center can pass it over to the academia so that this collaboration can work. Basically, R&D center is not going to be they are not going to decide on behalf of both the parties. They will just link these two parties so that these two people can, academia and industry, can actually start collaborating with each other. The reason is, even according to the government of India, collaboration between the academia and the industry is an inevitable thing if we really want to move forward in research and development. Last but not the least, there can be a question: is this collaboration not happening in India? It is. You can see a lot of startups. And more importantly, where this collaboration is actually happening, if I have to say, is in defense area. Especially the concentration or the importance that is being given to defense. You have so many startups, and most of these startups are not like started because by somebody who is in his 40s or 50s or something. All these people are like young people, like 25 or 26 years old, who have the industry knowledge. They come out, they create a startup, and they manufacture drones. They manufacture parts of submarines, manufacture parts of ships, manufacture parts of fighter jets. This is one area where the industry-academia collaboration is actually being done and actually being working. And where are we today? More than 50,000 crores of export of defense products alone in the last 10 years. Prior to that, probably it was like 2,000, 3,000 crores. Where are we right now? And it's not because of anything else. It's because the environment that has been created encourages the people to participate in the defense production. But no government actually encourages private parties to come into defense. Obviously, national security. But in spite of that, these startups are able to contribute. That shows a lot about innovation, what innovation can do, and how that innovation can be achieved through collaboration. And that is where government can also come into private investigation. Now, all these things, basically, all the rest of the slides, I'm not going to say anything. It just gives some, whatever I just, these are all like tidbits, factual tidbits, to say, how the industry can collaborate with the academia and how it has actually worked out so far. Now, what government grants, industry sponsorships, and all, I'm not going to go into all these things. I just finished this with one final. So far, I have been talking about, or I have been sharing my views about how to monetize this industry-academia collaboration, how to monetize this sustainable development. But I'm just leaving you with a food for thought. Are we really going to stop sustainable development with monetization? Like I said, Wayanad or Uttarakhand or COVID-19, no. It has nothing to do with money. So, while this academia-industry collaboration is necessary for promoting innovation, for achieving sustainable development, yes, that's all perfectly fine. Let us just think beyond that also, on day-to-day life, how sustainable development can happen. And if everybody in academia and the industry can work together that way, or I'll just give you a simple example. There was a recent flooding in Bihar, not recent, it happens every year. This year, recent flooding in Bihar. The reason they say is simple. There is this river, big river called Kosi, and this river, every year it actually changes its course. And can you guess what is the change of course of that river which causes so much flooding everywhere? 3 millimeters. Just 3 millimeters. And every year, engineers, I don't know how, but engineers correct the course of the river so that it doesn't come in the villages or everywhere. This engineers are not somebody from industry. These engineers are not from government or anything. These engineers are professionals. They are academics. Just like over oxygen concentrator, there are academias here also. And these are areas where you can actually landscape in front. Those are places where it's open for academicians to actually like step in. It's not only about helping the industry, it's also about helping the country, helping the world. Forget about the government, helping the country, helping the people over there. So I just want to end this to just leave it. Though the topic was on monetization, I mean, I'm just concentrating more on monetization. I'll just leave it, close it by saying that sustainable development is not just about like, going to an industry or like, earning money and all those. That is all that is very important. Otherwise, I will be standing before you, you won't be sitting in front of me. And none of us will be like studying also. Money is important. But sustainable development is not just about monetizing, it's not just about commercial. So I'll just leave that for now. And I thank everyone for giving me this opportunity to share my views. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the importance and benefits of collaboration and for enlightening us with ways to bridge the gap between industry and academia. We now move to the paper presentation. Mr. Santanam, sir, will chair the session. The session will be co-chaired by Dr. L.R.S. Kalanidhi ma'am, Dean School of Languages, and Dr. M. Kavita ma'am will be the reporter. Before we proceed with the presentation, I would like to briefly introduce our co-chairperson and the reporter. The co-chairperson, Dr. L.R.S. Kalanidhi ma'am, is an associate professor of English at Guru Nanak College. Madam is now in her 36th year of teaching English language and literature to the UG and PG students at University of Madras and England. After completing 3 years in an international residential school, 15 years at GTN Arts College, Dindigul, she has been with Guru Nanak College for 17 years now. After doing a successful service as Vice Principal Student Affairs, she is now elevated as the Dean School of Languages. Ma'am has published 38 papers. As a research supervisor, Ma'am has guided 3 part-time MPhil scholars, 11 PhD scholars, and 6 more are in progress. She is now adjunct faculty at Manipal Global-Based University, Malaysia. Her study materials on American literature for UG students of ITE, University of Madras, and TAOU were published in August 2008 and August 2022 respectively. Ma'am has reviewed a 900-page A to Z word picture dictionary for the students of the government primary schools under the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan scheme, government of Tamil Nadu. She has published 3 chapters in edited books published in 2023. Ma'am, we are indeed proud to have you amongst us. Moving on to our approach for this session, Dr. Kavita is currently serving Guru Nanak College as a selection grade assistant professor and research supervisor in the postgraduate and research program of Commerce. Ma'am is the Deputy Dean of Guru Nanak Center for Skill Development. She has 20 years of teaching, research, and administrative experience. She has a good acumen in research and she is a leading PhD research supervisor. Under her guidance, 9 candidates have been awarded PhD, 2 candidates have submitted their thesis, and 4 candidates are pursuing PhD. Ma'am has published 51 articles in leading peer-reviewed journals, magazines, and career journals, and has authored 2 books. She has been the resource person, guest speaker, and chief guest in various conferences, seminars, FTPs, and hands-on training programs. Her specialization includes information technology, marketing management, human resource management, finance, and taxation. Her current research interests are knowledge management, social media marketing, influential marketing, and performance management. Ma'am is a recipient of Best Outstanding Educator International Award winner 2020, Research Excellence Award winner 2021, Research and Development Award winner 2022, Research Supervisor Excellence Award 2023, and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Best Researcher Award 2024. Her expertise in education and her contribution to the students' community from undergraduation till doctoral program is highly appreciable. Thank you. I now hand over the session to the chairperson, co-chairperson and reporter. Very good afternoon again. Thank you, madam, for giving the opportunity. So, can we have any participants of paper presentation over here? Any paper presenters? Yes, could you please come forward? May I know your names, please, madam? Serial number 3. Yes. Yes, madam, you are the first presenter.
And warranty is at the back also. Presentation. Presentation 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Question and answer session. Social session is there. How much your question before starting?
Presenters will be allowed 5 minutes time to present your PPT and 2 minutes will be allotted for the question session. Okay, you have to defend your PPT with the panel with 2 minutes. So totally 7 minutes will be allotted to each and every. Thank you. All the best.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Banani Rai Chaudhary from the United Arab Emirates. Presently, I am pursuing my PhD at Manipal Global Next University in Malaysia, and Dr. Kalanipudi is my supervisor. Well, my presentation today is how to empower high school students to write better academic essays. Under the title, you can see strategies for developing academic writing in high school students. Now, you know that writing is considered to be as one of the most important productive skills. Why? Because writing has a holistic approach. It helps students, from morning we have been discussing a lot about skills. It helps students to use grammar and syntax in an appropriate manner, and it also helps students to understand language and use it in various social and cultural contexts. This culture was highlighted in the last presentation. Now, in my context, where I have been teaching, I face many challenges. My students, no matter how much I am able to input the theme and the topic, sometimes they are unable to generate ideas, and it doesn't stop over there. After generating ideas, they have to organize their thoughts and then put it in a logical way when it comes to actual real-time writing. And I'm sure all of you have been experiencing this when you go for your academic writing. So what do? The reason behind this is I started doing my research because I went crazy when my students were unable to do this. The reason behind this was they lacked knowledge in cohesion and coherence. How many of you have heard this word cohesion and coherence? Can you raise up your hand? Well, if you haven't, please keep it in mind that these two areas are very important when it comes to academic writing. And of course, you can see the second point, that even we teachers, are to be blamed because we rarely mention this in the class when it comes to writing.